in control against Artosis debate and keep going back and forth.
That'll be easy.
War field stabilized. Wanna turn up the heat? We gotta move.
It is Tuesday, August 2nd, and this is State of the Game. I'm JP McDaniel, and today we welcome back an old friend of the show, and that, of course, is one Jeff in Control Robinson. Jeff, glad to have you back.
Glad to be back, man. Love the frickin' show. Love you guys. Love everything about it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming on. We've also got our usual guest, or I guess host, Sean Day9 Plot. Sean, how's it going?
It's going great. I have a branded mug. See, it says Day 9.
Dude, I was the originator of this. I'm sorry you're not cool, Sean.
I know, like, everyone has an engraved mug. You guys are getting, like, mailed vodka from all these people, and I get a cup, and I'm like, well, let me tell you who's the boss.
You actually got the best fan art, though. Do you have that painting handy?
I disagree. I disagree. Greg got handed a picture of the human centipede made of pictures of his head.
Oh. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. Whose life's good? See, look, there's Dan. That's you. That's me. I'm holding Idra. There's Tyler. There's Jeff. And
look how Tyler's drinking.
Yeah, look, there's my brother.
Wait, why is everyone there cool except me and fucking Mickey
Oh,
Mouse?
and look how far away you are. Look at this considerable distance. Stay the fuck
What is
away.
It's the closest to how you actually look, too. That's the weird part.
I look like Mickey Mouse?
Hey, look at those shoes, man. I saw you wearing those vegetarian shoes.
Well, those are my shoes, but come on.
Look at me, though. I'm all non-legs. What?
Yeah, you gotta work on. You gotta work on
the legs, Jeff. You gotta start doing some leg workouts.
All right.
Also, if you haven't heard them already, we've got Dan Artosis Stemkowski. Dan, how's it going?
It was going well till I saw that painting, JP. This is what I think happened, alright? I was probably making fun of like some sort of rush and saying it was skillless, and the guy who drew that probably does that rush. He's like, it's not skillless, and he drew me as Mickey Mouse. That's my guess.
That rush takes a lot of skill, Dan.
Yeah.
And also we have Liquid Tyler, a.k.a. Tyler Washaleski. Tyler, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good.
So apparently the show is lagging really bad.
Oh no.
Don't know what to do.
I want to say that there is a glitch in XSplit that I've experienced where if you're on one camera that's like a static image and then you transition into like something with a lot of motion,
sometimes
it takes a long
just
time
freezes.
to stabilize.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well,
yeah.
It'll fix itself, hopefully. Hopefully. Gunrun messaging me, though. Maybe I should actually message or look at this. In the meantime, let's talk about MLG while I figure out all these problems. The Koreans are pretty good, and they got top 6 at MLG. Artosis, you're over there laughing. Was this a big surprise to you, man?
No, that sounds about what would happen. I mean, they train really hard, man.
Jeff, were you at all surprised?
Really I always go into these things naively optimistic that a foreigner's going to carry the flag to the top, man. That he's going to just burn down the castle and do really, really well. But then when I think about it in retrospect, 4 Korean Terrans and really good Terrans, MMA, MVP, and Boxer surprised everyone, but he prepares for these tournaments better than I think almost anybody.
Right.
Those are some damn good Korean Terrans. I think we're really only missing like Bomber and maybe Pult from a list of like the best Terrans on the planet. And I think the Korean Terrans in particular are a step or two ahead of their Protoss and Zerg brethren. Except for, of course, Nesty, who you could almost give like the moon name to. It's just, I think them being in the top 4 out of the 6 is pretty predictable, actually.
Well, it's one of those moments where I want to just like punch each and every foreigner in the tournament. Like, why didn't you practice more? Because like pretty much every old WCG for Brood War, there was always that one foreigner who was like the guy that cared a lot that year.
Yeah.
You know, like when Draco would go like really far but he barely lose, or like Sen, he kind of did that every time he went. But still, like even Liquid Tyler, who like barely got edged out by like a top Korean, but that like didn't even happen at all this MLG. It's like every Korean demolished whoever he played against, unless it was another Korean, and then the games were quite good. But
Yeah.
I think this was a wake up call, MLG though. Like I absolutely agree with your sentiment. There was no like Huck was murdering himself for 2 weeks going into this, and this is his best performance possible. There was no like Idra cried afterwards because this is the only thing he cared about for the last month. That didn't happen. So I think a lot of people are kind of realizing that with the elevating skill and level of these competitions, I can even speak personally. You have to go into these things, and if you're not in like the top shape, you're gonna get embarrassed, dude. Like I got rolled over by Boxer, and that's a once in a lifetime match. Like I hope to be fortunate enough to get that opportunity again, but maybe I don't. And all I'll remember my match against Boxer was I got dominated. That's not how I want to remember, So I think foreigners are gonna wake up after this MLG. That's my hope, anyways.
Tyler, you were one of the few foreigners to take out a Korean. I think it was on the main stage as well against Choya, correct? You were extremely happy, if I may say so myself, after that match, for that interview. From your point of view, you came through the open, got into pool. Sean, it's like you would like to
raising
talk.
my hand, may I interject? I'd just like to note that Choya is playing QXC right now, so we should continually reference that. I just want to say that so that way everyone who's watching the stream opens it up, because I will spoil it hard.
He's watching that on the GSL Code A qualifier stream, which you can find over on teamliquid.net. But yeah, that'll probably be spoiled somewhere through this. But Tyler, how did it feel taking out Choya on stage?
I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't the best thing ever, because it was just to like get to pool play. I mean, it wasn't the finals, and it wasn't the best Korean there. I unfortunately had to follow up Greg saying Choya's bad on stage. So, like, Greg's like, "Oh, this guy's bad," and he's the one guy I beat. And I'm like,
funny.
But you can't underestimate it either. It's rare for anyone to beat a Korean, so I'm thankful for that. But as far as like the skill that I actually showed in that match in particular, it wasn't out of this world. It looked real nice because I was outplaying him those 2 games, so it looked amazingly awesome. But could you have like put any Korean up there, any matchup on any map, and would I have done that? Absolutely not. Other Koreans there would have dominated me just as bad as I dominated Choya. So it wasn't like I crossed some threshold and now I'm able to beat all the Koreans, but I did get the moment. I had the moment. I was fortunate enough for that, so I enjoyed it while I had it. But yeah, it wasn't as meaningful as it could have been. I just
okay, fuck that. It's really meaningful. Let's just start with that. So, like, I want to ask specifically about like the follow up where you just start going Zealot Archon, because like there was in particular that one battle at like the bottom gold where you hit at like the statistically worst angle possible.
Yeah,
it's like all your zealots ran in between
and I
the
knew
trees.
it didn't matter.
With 2 ramps, and like 2 force fields got caught. And I like look at your camera and just kind of. Just like roll right over them. It was not close at all. Because I think everyone has seen everything up until the Templar part. Where it's like you go blink stalkers and then okay, well he's getting morals. I guess I better hope I'll have enough speed zealots to win and shit. But like, the +1 attack and the Archons. Can you?
I mean,
enlighten us, Tyler.
People got to realize like how badly a zealot beats a stalker, for example, just in a straight up battle if there's no micro. If the zealot can actually get somewhere and attack something, then it just completely demolishes everything. And then there's stuff like force fields and colossi that traditionally have been making zealots bad in PvP, but if you get into a situation where your zealots can mostly be attacking stuff and there's not a lot of splash damage against them, then it's ridiculous like how you can position yourself badly like I did for that fight, because I just wanted to make sure it happened because I knew I was going to win anyway, and how it doesn't matter because zealots just own stuff. You need the 1 Archon to smash the force fields if necessary, and then Yeah, against a composition like he had, which I don't remember exactly everything he had. I think a lot of Blink Stalker, a couple of Sentries, maybe an Immortal or two, and some Zealots probably mixed in. I mean, that's just a bad composition against Zealot Archon. Like, you have to have absolutely ideal positioning in micro with his composition in order to win that battle, or just have, like, way more stuff. So, I don't know, I think a lot of Protoss are confused about openings. Like, you kind of know what the good openings are, and you know what their strengths and weaknesses are, but I think some people don't know when there's like a progression where, like, what do you do after the initial opening, and then what do you do after that? What are your particular follow-ups? And there's so many openings and so many little different follow-ups, and some people don't realize when some of those are like an absolute dead end. And I think Choya probably thought he was doing better than he was, especially like when he first came out with his Blink, he killed a lot of my Blink Stalkers. He really caught them pretty hard, but I don't know, that was just a dead end for him. And so it was nice catching someone with the Zealot Archon when it's basically like I know something that he doesn't. He doesn't know that if he goes down that path and I, take the option of going Zealot Archon, then he just loses pretty much. So it's pretty cool to show people that. I don't know, how many of the spectators like actually appreciate that on that high of a level, but I thought it was a bit of a unique game from what we've seen so far in PvP.
And why the +1 attack instead of +1 armor? Because, like, I mean,
helps with
I
Archons more, I think.
Yeah, because like I've done the math on just +1 armor versus just +1 attack with just Zealots and Stalkers, and armor is better, but I haven't thought at all about +2 attack in the slightest. I haven't thought at all about Archons in the slightest, so I don't know if you can just share that knowledge with me so I don't actually have to go figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, like, the armor is initially better, I think, just because, like, Stalkers are attacking Zealots with armor upgrades is just amazing, the same way it is Marauders versus Zealots. But then I think eventually you want to be invested in weapons, so, like, it's more of a longer game decision. So for that one battle, I think armor would have been better. But, like, for a mid-game timing, if I can choose between, like, 1-1 or +2 weapons, then I need the weapons, because what's going to happen is he's probably going to have, like, a line of Zealots himself, and usually Colossi is what people go. And I need the weapons for my Archons so that they can break his line of Zealots. And as soon as your Zealots break his Zealots and charge into his Colossi, the battle's over. So it's really important that your Archons and your Zealots have the damage output to more damage output than his Colossi do, so you just break it. And at that point, I don't think armor would be very helpful. But against, like, a Stalker-heavy composition, armor is pretty nice.
Jeff, did you want to talk about, did you happen to see that game at all?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, here's Tyler's face after the match.
Yeah, he was pretty smiley, man.
Which is awesome. I'm not trying to
good,
shit on
yeah.
him, but, like, he's like, it wasn't that neat. Give me a break, Tyler. It was the hat. You're like the least
crazy,
emotive
man.
guys, I know. And after that match, you could have.
Well, I remember.
Rainbow, man.
I immediately asked him afterwards. He's like, "It was all right." I was like, "No, don't bullshit me, man."
He was happy. He was awesome.
Yeah.
I was really glad that. I mean, and he actually mentioned in the interview too. He got to showcase kind of the newish composition, which is Zealot Archon, and I actually think. I'm sure we could debate about this, but I think Zealot Archon Immortal is actually really, really good because of the Archon, or excuse me, the Immortal forces counters a lot of the stuff that you're going to see later in the game actually, and like 6 or 7 Immortals against a mostly Stalker Colossus army is so awesome. But yeah, I just really liked it. I thought Choya was kind of hilarious too, and one of the untold stories here too is that Choya tried like a DT rush, I think, and that completely failed. And then, I mean, his Blink Stalkers didn't do anything either, so. It's a little bit misleading. It's not that the composition's bad, but you just need to know that, like, if you do bad positioning with that composition against a properly composed army, including Colossus, I think you get completely demolished. So you have to be very careful with positioning with that army. But in this case, his composition was trash, so it was just a move to win.
Artosis, you got anything to say? I don't know if you actually... you said you watched some of the matches, but...
Yeah, I haven't seen Tyler's yet, but I definitely will because I'm a huge Zealot Archon fan.
Are you not a Tyler fan though?
You asked last week, man, like who my favorite players to watch were, and I like had a 10-minute spiel about why I love to watch Tyler.
I had to say the joke. I'm sorry, Dan. I'm sorry. Dan, did you predict, as you are the prophet of StarCraft 2, self-proclaimed, I may also say, but Boxer getting third? What the?
I mean, I knew MVP would end up winning the thing, but first off, congratulations to Todd. He knocked out Alicia. I need to see those
Todd's
games,
one of the
man.
unsung
What
heroes of the tournament for sure, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
It's like Alicia got a second chance, and Todd was like, "Get the fuck out of my
Yeah, well, I wanted to highlight a bunch of the open brackets.
Or Alicia, dude.
Because there was a lot. But
Yeah, what
Traveled
what
from
happened?
Korea to California just to lose to Todd. Like,
It's-
literally, that's it.
Well, I've been hearing Todd's been getting really good and all, but I mean, I'm so surprised because Alicia is like one of my favorites in this tournament, especially with it being so Terran heavy. He's like so good PvT, but I'm not surprised at all about MVP. Boxer, on the other hand, are we going to talk about Boxer now?
let's do it, man. What?
Over the past 10 years, from StarCraft 1 to StarCraft 2, people have said Boxer is washed up. Like, how many times now? Like,
And do you remember when he nuked Baxter? Do you remember this before
Yeah, of
Baxter
course.
changed his name to Killer because his name,
Yeah.
it was like the last game he played under Baxter. He had to change his ID because he got nuked by Boxer. Oh, so good. Go
Yeah.
on, Dan.
thank you. That had everything to do with what I'm talking about.
Dan's on
Basically-
fire today, man. He's hating on everyone. First it was Tyler, then me. Now you shit on Sean. Jeff, you're next.
Ready,
I'm
man.
waiting on it.
Jealous I wasn't at MLG. But Boxer has done this so many times where everyone's like, oh, he's all washed up. Oh, this, that, the other thing. And then he just has some crushing performance. I mean, people have already called him washed up in StarCraft 2 like 3 times. And then he like wins his group in NASL, and then he comes over to MLG in top 3s and has like insanely good games against some of the best players in the world. And so you actually can't predict how well he'll do because he always does fall down. He always does rise back up. He's a busy guy, I guess. I don't know.
He prepares better than I think just about anybody. You have to talk about his preparation.
He's smart as hell, man. He knows how to win games. He's seen everything 1,000 times. So
Sean, you casted that hour-long game. That's the first game when I think of Boxer from the tournament that comes to mind. Artosis hasn't seen it yet, so Dan, we're probably just about to spoil it. But
that's all right. I'm still gonna watch it.
Sean, what was your view from casting that game?
I cannot emphasize how boring that was.
Yeah.
And how inopportune a time that came for a caster. Okay, so I mean,
Playing
like,
Heliens.
like, so it starts off amazing. Boxer has the advantage, and then he messes up. He does an engagement where he clearly falls behind, and let me just get what was impressive out of the game, or what was impressive out of the way, so that way I can just hate all over it, right? Because like, it's so easy to get in a position where it's impossible to really find an edge. So what do? You like just try to force something to happen, but both players saw that there was no edge to exploit and just forced it into a passive situation. And there were a lot of opportunities for mistakes that neither player made for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
was a unit even killed for a while there? Because basically the map just was
draw
split.
condition almost came up
Yeah.
twice.
I remember going over to the commission. I was like, "What? Are you like stop watching this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." But it got really close one time, and then it didn't happen. For those who don't know, the draw condition is 5 minutes with everything mined out and no units are killed, and then it's considered a draw. Or the other thing that Sean is talking about, where you can like lift up, go to the corner, and he can't do anything to get to you.
But I think the official in-game conditions is it's
Oh,
nothing
I forgot about the in-game one, right?
yeah, like the in-game one is that there's no buildings destroyed, nothing is mined, and nothing is produced. I think if it's those three are
I
not.
totally forgot they had an in-game one.
If those aren't happening for 3 minutes, then the game's a draw. So Boxer tried to force a draw at the end, and I actually forgot that you run out of gas in StarCraft 2. I forget this all the time. So I was just like, yeah, well, he has a ton of money. He's going to build some Vikings. And I was like, he has 46 gas. He can't build anymore. Boxer! And became like totally fanboy. But then Boxer lost. But that game. So the problem with an event like MLG from a caster perspective, when a long game happens, is that you don't eat. Right? You get no chance to actually have food, right? So I was in this game and we were like right about to get lunch, and then this game happens and I'm like running on no nutrition. Like my stomach was so loud, I had to like hit the mute button on the microphone, and Wheat Stomach's like making noises too. And we've only had coffee and Nas, which is so
It was funny to watch from the players area because I think there's matches going on, so I had to keep looking up and over there. And there'd be things like really strange things I've never seen in StarCraft 2 yet, like a whole cloud of Vikings. First, that was weird. It would fly over, there'd be like a scan, and then they'd fly away, and everyone would be like, yeah! They'd cheer, and I was like, what the hell just happened? My eyes are really bad. No,
it might have been like Hunter-Seeker runaways or something.
There probably was some of that.
There was like 4 or 5 of those during the game.
Yeah, and I mean, a Hunter-Seeker missile they're just not Scourge. I don't know how else to put that. When Scourge are chasing after a dropship, you know the Scourge is like 3 pixels faster than the other unit. But like, if you have any awareness at all, it's like the Hunter-Seeker missile is like, dude. It's like, have you guys seen that episode from Aqua Teen Hunger Force with the quad laser?
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about. No one can escape the quad laser. You know, that's what every time it fires. That's the only thing I think of. So.
Austin Powers, the guy in front of the steamroller.
That too.
Yeah.
There's another one.
It's true. I think they need to change it up because I really like the Hunter Seeker. I think it's cool, but as it is, it really only punishes idiots. Or it's like a painful force field. Like you have to run away now, otherwise you're going to get hit with a nuke.
Right.
It should get faster over time. That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Oh, and it should also cost 50 energy and come with the Raven. That would be the best thing ever. I would love that.
A Terran buff.
Yeah, Terrans need more
Sean,
stuff.
you truly are an interesting fellow.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Tyler, what do you think?
Oh.
What? Sean just... What?
Just go ahead.
Go ahead, Tyler. Just cut
I
him
didn't
off.
watch that
I gotta cut him
match,
off.
but about Boxer in particular, I mean in general, like when I saw him like Friday, he was just owning everyone. I was like, okay, I know which Boxer showed up to this tournament. I was like, Boxer's gonna tear shit up, like because that's just the way he is. Like Dan said, I don't even know if it's ups and downs. Well, I mean that's accurate, but it's more like he's in control of it. It's like, did I put in the effort to win this tournament? Then yeah, I'm gonna be awesome. And then so I was like, oh man, Boxer's here. Like he's really here. And
Yeah.
so that was fun to watch.
Speaking of which, the match against MMA on Shakuras, I was like heartbroken. Boxer did the only thing that could lose him the game. He's like, well, he has Medivacs, but I'm just going to siege all of my tanks with nothing else.
Oh, and then he
just,
got
like,
dropped on?
over.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Bottom of the ramp.
and as
Oh, man.
as has them
I saw
over there, he like sends over SCVs build turrets near the rest of them. He like had that game so easily. Oh, it just broke my heart because he had a better shot against MVP than MMA did, I think. So,
I will say that after his rain games, though, so he just played a series for 90 minutes. I've only had stimulants and no nutrition at all, right? And
Sounds like one of your WCG tournaments.
Oh, I was there. I was sweating for esports, right? I was up there, and it was so hot. It was this huge bright light, and I like have to wear my like suit jacket, and I'm foul. I smell. I'm glistening with moisture. And he comes in the back, and I run up and give him a hug, and he was grossed out.
You went up and gave Boxer?
Yeah, and he like just angled the shoulder in and back again, right? Like he was a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a bum leg, just sort of like, yeah, okay. So. And that's actually the last time I interacted with him that weekend. So I think
Probably
that
just
was
like,
really
stay away
great.
from me, Sean.
Yeah.
Now, one of the other things that I don't really know if there's anything to say, I'm kind of proposing this to you guys. Top 4 placings were Terran, there was 1 Zerg, and 2 Protoss in the top 8. I think, of course, DRG got 5th, 6th was Rain, I believe, so 5 Terrans, rather. Does that mean anything? Is Terran just...
No,
were the better
it's
players
showed-
Terran? Is that all it was?
Yeah. That's all it was. I mean, well, Terran is obviously doing so well in GSL, but if like Todd wasn't such a hero like in the first round, then I think Alicia would have been up in that top area. And it's just a ton of Korean Terrans came, not a ton of Korean Protosses or Zergs.
Todd beat, I don't know Artosis, but Todd beat Alicia in the first one, and then he beat him in an extended series again.
Oh,
so
he did.
He did it twice, yeah.
4-2. Yeah, 2-0 and then 4-2, I believe.
Yeah.
That's, man, get me those replays, AP.
One thing I want to note is, like, statistically, there were a lot more Terrans there. There were 100 Terrans and then 87 Protosses and 84 Zergs. And 4 randoms. But, like, even in the invited player list, there were a lot more notable Terrans just playing in the tournament overall.
Yeah.
And, I mean, of the... like, I think, let's just be honest for a moment, when they invite the Korean players, they just go, who kicks ass? Come to the tournament.
That's pretty much what we do, yeah.
There are many players who qualify for future MLGs based on past MLG performances when they were inspired and training hard, but then they don't actually have to do anything noteworthy to be into the next one because of like the way the ranking point schedule works. So I mean, if you look at the invitees, it's MMA, Boxer, and MVP. Okay, so those are the invited Terrans. Or of the invited players, those 3 are Terran, and you have Dong Regu. And was there anyone else that they invited? I think that was it.
No, that was only it. Or those 4 for the League Exchange program.
They tried to get Bomber.
Well, Bomber, it was announced Bomber and MVP will be at Raleigh. That was announced like 2 days ago.
That's awesome.
Sick.
So the other 2 are still, we're still working on that, but
it's like one of those things where when you just hear, hey, we invited A and B and C, and they're all top Korean pros, and you're like, oh, well, A and C are probably going to be top 3. Incidentally, they were all Terran. So it doesn't bother me that much. I would like to give a shout-out to Gonzi for bossing it up all the way in the open bracket, no problem.
He's good, man.
Did you play him, Jeff, at all?
I played him in the Korea server when I was over in Korea, and he was one of the Terrans that really stood out, like just crisp everything. I mean, and I knew him in Brood War too. I didn't know him, but I played against him a few times in Brood War, and he was always kind of one of those weird guys who could never really get it together in the Pro League, but was always considered one of the better practice partners.
He had one good game on TV. One really great TVP on Andromeda during GOM, and that was it. Everything else looked like trash in StarCraft 1. In StarCraft 2, he's like so sickly good.
He was an underperformer in StarCraft Brood War in the stages, so a lot of people talk about nerves whenever that happens, but he's a great player. He's really good.
Wasn't Gonzi the player who was sent out in Pro League like 6 times and lost every game? And then,
he was one of them.
and then finally won a game and was like so happy he cried. And then in the next game, his teammate had gateways built in his base and promptly lost the series. Is that the Gonzi I remember?
You like remember this?
Well, that's like a lot of people, man. That's like Puma, MC, and Gonzi.
Like,
so.
Sean has a photographic memory, actually, when it comes to remembering stuff like that.
Isn't he the guy who... And
he can actually remember probably every game that he's casted, or at least something about every single game that he's casted. It's a gift, Sean. It's a gift.
Oh, by the way, what is with Rain? He used to be like this total cheesy nub, and now he's playing like these sick macro games. What happened there?
Yeah,
he like leaves a Korean team, joins Fnatic, and becomes actually so good. He played good, man. I liked his games.
Is he staying with any other teams in Korea? Is he just out on his own?
No,
he lives in New York.
Or he lives in New York.
He lives in New York now.
There's a huge thing to be said for the mental aspect of StarCraft 2, and like the longer he's away from the pro gaming house, I'm anticipating we'll see declining results. But as of he just left and is training, he's happy. He's in New York. I think he's with his dad or with his older brother or something, but he's with family.
No,
he's much happier. And when you're happier and you're confident, he's like, I'm going to MLG, I've got like 5 Koreans to compete against. These things can culminate in a better competition for some of these guys. And he was S-Class before this. It's not like he was some kind of weird, couldn't do it kind of guy. He was one of the better Terrans. He just had a different style. And I think with the happiness and the clarity of mind, he's now a different player.
You know, I'm beginning to suspect, though, because I feel like this might have been the 3rd or 4th guy that has been a cheeser that turns out to be like a good, solid player. I'm beginning to suspect that maybe some of these cheesers aren't like really pure cheesers in practice, because maybe just when it comes down to it and they're in a tournament, they're like, I need to win one best of 3, and they just figure their best odds are these cheese builds, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
man,
do it for
like,
a while, and then they just change.
I mean, that's
Choya has gotten so much better recently, and he was like, I ragged on that guy because he was just the worst all-inner for several seasons of GSL.
yeah, you did.
And
He was
then he
always
like,
there.
He's actually ruined for life because of you, Dan. That's always going to come to
well,
him.
I mean, kids can't do that, man. Most skillless builds I've ever seen from that kid back in the day. But now he is doing like these sick macro games and like playing real well. And I hear the same about the best FOU, which is currently #1 on my hate list. But I've been told by the FXO guys that he actually plays like insanely good macro games in practice.
That's a weird thing for them to say.
Sean just lost.
That's, oh, that's serious that you casted with him, where you were just like, what in the fuck are you doing, the best? Like, Banshee,
Yeah.
it was like, here it is, and it fires on the Marine, and it's like strafe firing over the Marines to death.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he was clearly actively looking right at the Banshee, and it died.
Dude.
And, like, because when you're casting, you can't be like, well, that's shitty. Why do you do that? Awful, right? It's your job to make it at least exciting. And I just heard that he shouldn't do that again. That's the third time this game, but he's making a Banshee.
No,
And
my favorite part was at the Terminus game where there's a command center and no SCVs at it, and there's no turrets or anything. Everything's in the main base. And he cloaks his Banshee and goes in, sees there's nothing there, and runs away and uncloaks. And then he cloaks again and goes back in. And I was like, oh, why are you in like the round of 16 of Super Tournament? What's going on here?
One of the other things, too, that I think Tyler was kind of getting at was at GSL, these guys have a week or a couple of days to prepare, so they come with a specific strategy. At MLG, you play back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back games, so you can only cheese so many times until that comes kind of like known. And then
Unless
you
you're
have to
an
play,
AWA,
like-
then you forgate every game.
Well, yeah, but that may or may not be
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
I actually,
Naniwa's rise from cheese. Like,
did we ever see Naniwa on stream,
Actually,
Sean,
he
on the
was,
mainstream?
during like the beta and stuff, he was one Basewa, man. Now he's like...
He was. Yeah, Nanua was another one of those
But
guys
it's-
that was just a cheeser. And
Well, actually, that's because he was from War 3. He's like, well, I'll just micro these units and win. And then he figured out he had to make nexuses and probes, too.
Fuck, a lot of guys have come back from started as big cheesers.
Well, Huck and Naniwa still got like 6 and 7, so they didn't like suck it up this event by any means. But
yeah,
No, we're talking about their past.
no,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just saying like
Talking about they got good JP. Jesus.
Whoa, I was scared. I was like, did I brain fart like wake up 5 minutes later of the conversation? Like, whoa, guys! Like weird amnesia strikes.
Jeff, you were gonna say something before I cut you off, I think, earlier.
Oh, I was just making sure I was talking about the right thing.
Oh, okay, all right. So the next thing up, something I have called the unsung heroes of the event, and you mentioned Todd earlier, Artosis.
Yeah.
We never saw any of those games that he played, but from everyone in the player pool, they said that he was just playing incredibly well. So him and also Milkus, he didn't get enough love the entire event, I think. Even though he was up on stage freaking out interviewing Boxer, he was still like the man
oh
the
my
entire
god,
event.
dude, that was so awesome when Boxer was like, let's hear it for the guy who just translated what I said. And then Milkus has to translate that. And there's always that feeling of, is that what he said, Milkus? I wanted the crowd to know. But dude,
Yeah, man. No, we have that in GSL all the time where, you know, I'm told the translation is they're saying Tasos is a great caster at the end during their interviews, and I think sometimes people don't believe that.
But
I
dude, Milkus, it's like so awesome to like, because I don't think enough people realize that everyone who's involved in these events are starstruck hard.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on stage and MVP's right there, what I want to do is like, all right, everyone, holy shit, that's MVP! Oh, like, but I can't do that. I have to like try to be cool and stuff because he's like sitting up there with his little cool baseball cap and his cool colored shirt and his muscles and his amazing Ghostitarian skills. I've made an idiot out of myself in front of Boxer like so many times I can't believe it, and it's just never gonna stop. So
There was also the EP gimmicks guy. That was
cool.
That was the guy who played against White Raw in the losers bracket and played him in winners round 1, or was the match that he had to forfeit. And he suicided all of his SCVs, stood up and said like, "Hey, we're gonna play this game out. We're gonna start from a best of 3." And I
Well,
think
even before that, JP, when White Raw was initially late, he told the ref, he's like,
Oh,
hey,
see, I
I'm
didn't
fine
hear that.
playing the series. I'm cool with playing it. And the ref's like, sorry, we're going to rule in favor of forfeit anyways.
Oh, see, I didn't even hear that part, so it even goes even further. But that guy's awesome. That's what it's all about. So Jeff and Tyler, you guys were, or I guess Tyler, you were out there in the open bracket. Was there anyone else that you played that was, or that you saw playing that kind of stuck out?
No. I mean, I just played my match. I wasn't really watching
Didn't watch
other
any,
people, you know.
Weren't scouting the
I was so
competition.
hoping for I saw them all garbage.
Yeah.
Disapproving.
We'll have to get Jeff to come get Greg or something to say that, but
Well, so a couple people you have to mention. I know he's kind of a funny guy if you know him in the full breadth of his career, but Wannabe Cool from Team Gosu, formerly One, had a
that's
really good
true.
run. He defeated a lot of great players, and you know, for a guy who going into it, I would say 99% of people have no idea who he is from Adam. He did very well, and that's awesome. And that's kind of one of the cool things about MLG that a lot of people underrate. Like they talk about how brutal the format is, and I can't believe this is how it goes, and this guy had to win all these matches. But one of the cool things is that in that open bracket, people can really make a name for themselves. And Wannabe Cool didn't place. He's not in top 15, top 16, anything like that. But if you look at how he did, you have to give him recognition for that and respect. And I think that's a cool result from MLG.
another player like that was Hawk, I think, from Vile.
Shit,
He
I
got
didn't get his name right. Whoops, I felt bad about that.
Vile Hawk, the
Yeah.
most famous Texas player, I'll say that, except for Tyler, of course.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is.
He's their big pride and joy right now.
I'm trying to figure out where he placed.
Yeah, I actually don't know who that guy is, but I saw his name. It was like Hawk 284 or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was his.
Who is
That's
this
his
guy?
ID.
That's just
Yeah,
sad.
that's what I did. I was like, and congrats to some fucking guy named Hawk. Like, we felt terrible. And we felt horrible. Like, my Twitter was like, it's Vile Hawk, you monster. And I was like, I don't know who is this. And Wheat's like, well, at least you can probably message him on Battle.net because this is probably Hawk.248. Some guy named Hawk.
He's got a fan base, man. Every land he's gone the last couple MLGs. He's got a troop of people that really they have a lot of local lands in Texas, I think, and for the University of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And he's one of the big heroes there, and they talk all the time about how it's actually really cool to see. By the way, so at Raleigh and other events, like follow these little stories. They're actually amazingly awesome. Like there's literally, I want to say like 7 to 10 guys who are there, and they're behind him every match, and they're like, "That's our boy. That's the guy who represents our hometown."
Huh.
And for StarCraft 2 to kind of get there is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Other cool players is I don't know if we've had this before, and I don't. It's funny. This subject is always going to get confused for so many people or other results, but there was a lot of girls playing in this tournament. We had I can never say her name correctly, but Megan Mixbear,
Megumi X-Bear.
Megumi
X Bear,
which can also be part
Flo
as
from Team PMS Flo, PMS
God.
Flo. Did anyone think that went through? Which she played. She played really well. It's the name. I'm sorry. But it was really good. They did well. They beat a few people. Actually, one girl beat a guy, and the guy, like, under his breath, mumbled or said something. She heard it. He said, like, can't believe I just lost to a girl. How embarrassing.
Oh shit.
And everyone heard it, like, everyone around. So MLG Trish, or Lish,
Yeah.
she tweeted, congrats. You're terrible at StarCraft and a sexist pig, or something like that.
I didn't hear
Pretty
about
awesome.
that. I do want to also say, did you guys hear about StarCraft fans booing the winners of the Halo tournament?
Yes.
That's
What
not
in
okay.
the fuck?
Many.
Dude,
Wait.
What in the fuck?
I
I heard.
Yeah.
I have a strong opinion on this.
Yes, please do.
For some reason in life, there are people who can't just love something and just be like, I fucking love this. And when someone says, what is that? You're like, I love it so much, I'm going to tell you about it. People just have something that they like, and they express it by shitting on everything that's not that. I know a lot of people, for instance, who play World of Warcraft, who don't say, I love playing this game, it's so great. Who are just, oh, you play MMO, it's awful, or that sort of thing. Or for anyone to just not be like, I love StarCraft 2, to be like, well, Halo sucks. Halo doesn't suck. I've tuned into MLG for like 4 years to watch Halo on Championship Sunday, like almost every time. Because I roomed with Ogre 1 and Ogre 2 at WCG in 2005 in Singapore. And they're just like really cool guys, and I was like, oh, they're playing in tournaments now, let me follow it. So like, when Instinct won, that's just like, that stings, it's like so wrong.
Yeah, it's fucked. I mean, those guys went, as far as I know, in Columbus, they lost one map the entire tournament, which is fucking unheard of.
Instinct.
Stupid.
Yeah, Instinct. And then
Yeah.
this
Who are
last
the
one,
players on Instinct?
it's Roy, Ogre 2, Pistola,
It's like the
and
Red Bull
Lunchbox,
for
I think.
Halo World.
But yeah, and in this event, they went completely undefeated, I think.
Wow.
But it's just like, that's absurd. That's like never done before. Then they get booed off the stage or some shit. Like,
There's
What I
people-
heard, I
there's
saw
people
some.
correcting- Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I saw some comments somewhere that at the same time something bad happened on the StarCraft 2 stream, and that's why people
Really?
were booing.
The people in the chat are saying that the reason they were booing is because it played StarCraft for a second, then cut back to Halo. But that's kind of a cop-out, because actually a lot of the people are coming back saying, no, they were on stage like getting their trophies and like being congratulated for winning this tournament, and there's boos going on. So the bottom line is, and I hope people aren't trying to look for a way to get out of this, because there's no one being held accountable. It's just us as a fan base in general. If there's anyone booing anything at all at an MLG,
Cruncher
at
got
all,
booed during the Idra match in the intros, right? I think that's what it
everyone
was.
has an obligation to pat that guy on the shoulder and say, "Hey, jackass, shut the fuck up." Like,
Yeah, like
we should have the most overwhelmingly, like, I got tears in my eyes for the receptions Boxer got. And I'm not saying Cruncher should get the same reception as Boxer, but we should have a positive first crowd as opposed to like any kind of
Yeah.
knee-jerk negative reaction. We
Like-
should not
like-
have that.
Hey Cruncher, who basically came out of nowhere a couple months ago, managed to take down Idra in a pretty straight up fashion, put Mondragon down, and then like make it from the open bracket to be up against Idra on the main stage. It's like, who's this nothing up on stage? Get him off! It's like, come on! He's like, he's only winning lately. Like, give him a break. Winning's hard, just period, and doing it a lot in a row is kind of harder. But you know. If you like StarCraft a lot more than Halo, then be like, I like StarCraft. And
Yeah.
I've never really been into Halo.
Yeah.
It's
So
that
I
easy.
have a new topic, just a comment I wanted to make. Experience from playing in the open tournament. Here's my assessment of the difficulty of playing in MLG. The open tournament, not difficult. The players aren't as good. The schedule isn't actually that grueling, especially if you stay in the winners bracket. Friday and Saturday, not that hard. The problem is the most impossible, difficult position you can be in an MLG tournament is to be in like
To do
rounds
what White Raw
1 through
did?
3 of championship bracket losers. Because on Sunday, if you're in round 3, because the first round that's played on Sunday is round 3, rounds 1 and 2 are played on Saturday night. If you're round 3, you have to play, I think, 7 best of 3s, each one starting on the hour every hour, like no break. Like from 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that, you have a best of 3. Like no lunch break or anything. Hopefully you just like finish a series really quick during lunchtime and have someone bring you food. Like and those are the best people in the tournament at that point. Every
Right.
single one of those matches is going to be difficult. So if you like don't make it to pool play, or you make it to pool play and you lose, and you get 5th or even about 4th in your group or whatever, or 5th or 6th or whatever it is now, like you're in an impossible position. I almost feel like you have to get top 3 in pool play to really have a good chance. If you don't get top 3 in pool play, you're in for the most heroic Sunday of your life. Like you've got to be way better than everyone to actually make that.
The punishment's
pass.
more severe, I think. Like if you lose at any early point, kind of weird. You're now in a marathon. Like,
Well, if Wyra would have played, or if he would have been Select, he would have gone on to play Slush. If he would have been Slush, he would have gone on to play Kiwi Kaki. And those were like 3-hour matches, one after the other. We were going to stream all those if he was going to continue to play and kind of follow him along on Sunday morning. But also him, talking about Wyra just a little bit more, him being forfeited in the first round and then playing like 10 best of 3s or something on Saturday. By the end of the day, when I went into the booth, he couldn't function really. He was so tired from playing all those games, and his manager just kind of felt sorry for him. But I was hoping that he'll come back and play more, but that's a grueling experience. I don't know anyone that would want to travel across the world to play 10 best of 3s at the tournament level like that. and come back and do it again. But we will see. Artosis, I know you didn't watch too much, but is there anyone that we haven't mentioned that's kind of your unsung hero of the tournament?
I think I already mentioned I'm like so impressed by Rain and Boxer, and I think Jeff and Tyler both did pretty well too, killing some good nerds on their way.
Sean, did we get yours?
Dan, you're such a jackass.
You did, man. Didn't you knock out someone too on a Korean? Like Choya or something?
Choya.
Yeah.
We'll talk
There
about
you go,
me in a
man.
second. I'll
I was
definitely.
very happy about that when I saw that result.
If you checked our notes,
Yeah.
we were going to talk about
If you looked at the
Tyler
notes,
and I's performance.
Dan?
Respectively.
No, man, I don't look at notes. I freestyle everything.
Might you re-ask the question? What am I supposed to be answering right
So,
now?
like, your unsung
Pretty
hero of the
proud.
tournaments, man.
Unsung-
My unsung hero of the tournament is Liquid Rhett, far and away, because
That is true.
I have previously felt like Rhett has like these RTS mechanics in his blood so hard that he could just wing it at tournaments and still put up pretty good results. But I felt a Rhett that was playing on a very, very high level. I mean, I think that strategically he might not have been doing the best thing, but I mean he never missed a larva inject. Like, it was perfect, and he was really responsible about repositioning all his units and running those Zerglings around and getting in a good spot.
Did you talk to Yos at all at the tournament, Sean? I felt like...
didn't actually. I only got to talk to him. I certainly interacted with him. We're friends.
Todd?
How did that happen?
No, Rhett.
I don't actually remember.
I feel like the entire tournament, whenever I would go over to him, he always had a smile on his face. He was always in a good mood no matter what. And
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
really
yeah.
affects how you play a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
Because
You know, he only lost to Korean Terrans.
Yeah.
Barely
He
at that.
dominated like everyone else.
Yeah, he
who
destroyed
played.
everyone.
I didn't watch all the games, but that's what I heard. Is like no one touched him, and then he had to play the Korean Terrans, and then he gave them good games.
Yeah, he played really well versus him, actually. He almost
Yeah.
came back on that Zelnaga game against Rain, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was like... There was a
was
moment there where I was
heartbreaking.
like, is this actually going to happen? What is this? Oh my god. I was like all
Oh.
wiggly on my couch like that.
Damn, that's weird. That's really weird.
That's how I watch when I
on
get
the
excited,
couch.
man.
Like,
I'm wiggling around. Oh my god.
There's nobody home! There's no one but me here! Oh, whoop, I'm unplugging my headphones, man. Look at you. I'm unplugging my headphones. I don't wiggle. I'm fucking normal. I just sit there and I'm like...
No, man, my body just starts moving, man. I lose control.
Oh, shit. The next thing, Jeff, on the list, since you're following along, I'll ask you. What were some of like the most common builds that you guys encountered throughout the tournament? Anything, nothing like stood out that was just used constantly by almost everyone there?
I don't remember any Terran units really being made to you.
Well, that's the easy answer. That'll be my answer.
Yeah, the Terran ones, obviously. But in terms of what I encountered, I'm having a tough time with PvZ these days. I think there's a lot of interesting developments going on there that are going to take some meta game development, I believe, from the Protoss players. Like right now, DT openers and Stargate openers, for the most part, have been fairly figured out by Zerg. And I went into this tournament with those being my kind of the backbone of my PvZ, so I got rattled pretty quick. And if you're rattled going up against Idra and Sheth and Zergs of that level, you're not going to do too well.
Tyler, what about you? Did you encounter anything that was really common?
Uh,
I guess I need to kind of rephrase that. When I say common, nothing like new, something that was just everyone was using that was kind of expected. The new, obviously, is going to be the TVZ style by Slayers, or specifically Heliens, just being used everywhere. But
I didn't think anything was that predictable or common this tournament. I actually saw a pretty great variety of strats in almost every matchup for Protoss matchups.
right, Sean, you casted a ton of matchups. Was there anything to you that kind of stood out as being a go-to thing for a lot of matchups besides the Heliens, as I know you want to talk about? Because we'll get to that in a second. Still in your thunder.
I'm overall glad to see more Archons being incorporated into mixtures. And especially of the Zerg players, just seeing a couple more late game infestors in there. Because, I mean, there's just so much clinging to like, well, maybe if I just make a couple more Roach Hydra, I'll win. And it's like you're just having to like bludgeon people in the face with hammers until they stop building Roach Hydra. But you can go like Roach Hydra with some infestors in there, and it's good, you know. Like, I mean, Idra's games, especially like against Cruncher, he was doing like a lot of Roach Ling standard stuff, and with just, you know, just a little, like a dash of infestors. Just look at how good these support casters are, and it worked out really nicely. I mean, you don't have to be extreme like Destiny, and you know, I'm gonna only spend my gas on infestors, and I'm gonna get burrow fast, and when I get drop, I'm gonna put only infestors and overlords. I mean, that's great that, you know, someone is doing that, but it's delightful to me to see in a major tournament people actually exploring the full gradation of that unit.
How did Destiny do, by the way? I don't know like where he ended up in the tournament. Does anyone follow him at all?
I don't know where he
dropped out third round of losers. No,
Okay.
he beat TT1 in third round of losers and then lost to Gimmicks, maybe. Let me actually look at open it up really fast.
All right, Dan, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, you were talking about units that we saw a lot. It's so popular right now to make a bunch of Archons with your charge Zealots, and like I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. I feel like people are almost overdoing it because I don't know, some Terrans aren't good enough yet with their ghosts. Like, you go up against someone like Puma and you're relying on Archon Zealot, then you're only relying on Archon because he's going to get every EMP off. Some of these games, like for instance, I think it was maybe White Raw Select on like Tal'Darim. I think that was the game I'm thinking of, where he made like so many Archons and just kept attacking, and Select just missed a few EMPs, so the Archons did really well. So I don't know, I feel like people are almost kind of basing it on their opponents not teching right or not microing right to actually make this composition work for as long as they're trying to. I like it early, but they like stay on it instead of switching up, and I don't know, I feel like I'm seeing too much of that right now everywhere.
Now, Sean, there's a specific unit that I know you want to talk about, and you have to talk to me about that, and also talk to me about the origins of Line 'em Up, the phrase of the tournament.
Line 'em up! Alright, so everyone needs to get on YouTube and look up the song Don't Sweat the Technique by Eric B. and Rakim, I think it is. So I like call J...
Muted your mic, Sean.
That's weird. There we go. I just like straight up. Alright, so I'm gonna tell this person fuck off. They're trying to interrupt my story. Look, I'm just gonna turn off this monitor. Notice that there's nothing on my screen anymore.
Nice.
So we're talking about. Oh yeah, so I was
Don't sweat
bored
the technique,
on
man.
one. Yeah, I was bored on one evening because I didn't have work to do amazingly, and I don't know how to make myself happy. So I just called JP McDaniel, and because JP knows how to make me happy, and JP's playing, and JP, his thought process is, fuck this guy, I'm gonna build Blue Flame Helms and kill his workers, right? So like, and I was like, what are you gonna do after that? He's like, I'm gonna leave. So JP drops these Blue Flame Hellions in there. I was like, you're only gonna kill him if he lines his workers up. And JP just goes, line him up, and just starts running these Hellions around. JP's minerals are at like 2k, 1k, right? It's like skyrocketing as this dropship is going there. I'm playing Peggle. I'm taking breaks to look up and just laugh, right? And he drops them, and he's like, come on, line him up. And this guy runs his workers, and there has never been a straighter line ever. Like, that should be in math textbooks for kids to explain how straight things can be. And JP just goes, line him up, and just blasts and kills all of them. And the guy was like, BS unit, and leaves the game. And then I was recently listening to that Don't Sweat the Technique music video, and it's an amazing song, Don't Sweat the Technique. And there's this one scene where, as I have it open, there's a bunch of girls in swimsuits, and their asses are just go all the way down the camera. Like, it's a long, deep shot where the perspective lines are created by butt cheeks, right? And I saw that, and I was like, line him up! And I just sent the video to JP. I'm like, watch this part. He's like, they're lining up. I'm like, line him up! So then for this MLG, our entire purpose was just to say that as often as possible. So me and Wheat were having a great time. We're actually laughing quite a bit on stage, but we kept muting the mic. Sometimes we were both laughing, one of us just had to keep talking. Has everyone seen the line 'em up part? I can give you the exact
It's like
time.
43 seconds or something, I think.
43 seconds.
I don't know. I'm just saying that number out of nowhere, so.
JP.
Nice.
It's early on in the video. I know that.
Hey, do you know her birthday August 23rd? It's in February.
Hey man,
JP.
sometimes
He's
it
gonna
works.
get it right one time, and people flip out, man.
Exactly. That one time, man.
All
That'll
right,
be the
hold
time.
on. It's and don't sweat. This music video is ridiculous. When does it happen? It's like right at the start.
We're waiting anxiously, Sean.
It's actually going to be a while. Here, let me just stare at the music video. Oh no, it's right when the refrain.
Let's not let him do that, by the way.
Jeff, while Sean is finding the timestamp,
I hate to move this along, yeah.
talk to me about the Heliens. Jeff, talk to me about Heliens, man. I'm sure you watched a couple of those games.
Alright.
You watched Boxer vs. Greg.
Go to 1 minute, and then it'll pop up within 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was close.
Are we doing something, or
No,
should I talk about
Sean, just
yeah.
find the timestamp.
Mike,
I think it's kind of funny on the one hand how long it took for them to get there, right? Like for a long time, Heliens were kind of they're a bad vulture. Who cares about it? It's really stupid. Now, people are like, they're pretty good. Like they're okay. They're all right. Like Terran players are like, yeah, they're okay. Everyone else is like, fucking Heliens. Oh shit! I can't tell you how sad I am. How many times like my army leaves my base and two like little dune buggies, brrr, brrr, and they get in there, and then you're just like, oh, there's the whole game. Oh shit! And they're like, good, I got 2 shots off. I watched fucking this is the most funny thing ever. DeMuslim playing in the hot Kiat land in Arizona. No, it wasn't that. When did you get Ben? When did you get all your SCVs killed? What tournament was it? It was the clan war. Select. It was Select, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. He played Select in a clan war. And his base got mined down to 2 minerals. So he had something like 35 SCVs on 2 minerals. And fucking Select, who doesn't make SCVs anyways, he's got like 17 back at home. But he pulls into DeMuslim's base, 2 shots, 2 mineral lines, 35 SCVs died in like the blink of an eye. And DeMuslim, if you ever get the chance to spend time with this guy, the most charming chap ever, but he's like, bugger! Damn it all to hell! And that happened instantly. And we're all sitting in this obnoxious land together, which we can talk about later when we talk about how bad I did at MLG, but and we're all just looking at him, we're like, oh jeez. And he's like, the damn Heliens are so trash! So,
Oh man.
that's
bloody rubbish units.
His accent's not that bad to everyone who doesn't know the Muslim, by the way.
Yeah.
okay, well,
He
first,
doesn't know like a Mary Poppins character.
He holds his mouse like a teacup. His pinky's
Fine.
like sticking up. He's like microing all proper and shit.
this guy, like, listen, you can tease him about his accent all you want, because he and everyone else that knows him doesn't feel bad for a second, because we go to a restaurant, waitress walks up like, what do you have? What are you gonna have, love? And be like, oh, darling, I'll have the Coke, please, with my meal. And she's like, oh. It's like, oh, from England, love, from England. I'll go get your Coke then, and I'll do that for you right now. And we all look at him. He's like, what?
It's normal,
American
man.
girls and love the DeMuslim.
It's used to it. Dan, what are your thoughts on the whole Hellion subject, and also Englishman,
Well-
if you want to comment on that?
Well, I like the Muslim's accent. I would get him a Coke before Jeff, too. But for Heliens...
You get him someone, see?
Yeah. It makes sense the Heliens are finally being used a lot, because they're actually... It's exactly like Vulture starting to StarCraft 1. In the beginning of StarCraft 1, everyone thought the Vulture was trash, and then someone figured out that actually, no, you can micro it, and it can do so much for so little. And it became like the best unit. And here we are with the Hellion doing the same exact thing. It's actually insane how good Heliens are. I love the Hellion play, though.
It gives this nice instability to the game that it really needed, where it can do these wild swings.
It's like
So
Reaver
like-
Scarabs and stuff.
Yeah, and they're
Except it never misses. The hell is fucking good, man. Like, it gets into your mineral line, and I'm already doing the math about how I'm gonna, like, it's already gone. Like,
I would
Stop
love
chrono
it.
boosting your upgrades so you can get probes again. Like,
the best thing you can do to defend against a Hellion is minimize the amount of death by spreading everybody out everywhere. Like, how hilarious! There's no running. It's like the boogeyman came in your base. Like, you can't run. Don't fucking try that. You just need to
gunman-
make sure that not all of them die together.
Like there's a gunman in the school. Tell all the kids to just spread out in the playground. We're gonna have a lot of kids today, you know, like.
Yeah.
So, I love that. Like, I love the fact that it gives us huge instability to the game, because so much of early beta was like, I'm gonna make a Colossus because it just does everything for me. That Terran building Marauders because it's the best unit ever. And then now, you know, we have like siege tanks which must be still sieged up, plus Heliens that if you don't have all your space covered will just kill you immediately. The Banshee which still kills over 20 units every time you build one.
And I like it too. Don't take me for what I'm saying is bitching. I think it's a cool unit. I would not remove it. I would not nerf it or anything like that. It's just really severe. I think it's but there's a lot of that in StarCraft too. So I think it would be kind of unfair to nitpick at the Hellion. Like it's just a very severe unit.
You guys
So
think?
here's what I like about it, though, is because I think Terrans, the reason why it might have taken this long for Hellions to be used this well, is that Terrans have had such nice timings forever. There might be like two different ways you can look at timings in StarCraft, and one is, okay, I have a build, and as long as like nothing exciting happens, and I just do my build, and you know I scout him out and see he's doing something that this will work against, then at this timing, I'll just go and attack, and I'll have this stuff, and he'll have this stuff, and this should be good for me. And then there's this other style, like, okay, I'm going to macro up, but then I'm going to build some, like, harass units. I'll do some drops, and I have all these things that I do before I ever have a timing. And you actually don't know your timing. You have no idea what your timing is, because it's all based on how successful this harass is. It's like, okay, I'll go send this shit out. Did I kill 3 SCVs with it? Okay, then I don't have these timings anymore. Did I kill 8 SCVs with it? Okay, then this is a whole different game plan. Like that kind of stuff, you have to like figure out on the fly what your advantage is, what's the best timing to hit. And so it not only like adds the instability of, like Sean was talking about, like, oh, this guy's way behind, now he can come back, but it just adds strategic instability. Yeah, like
Strategery.
you can't just have some boring plan. It's like you have to think on the fly, and somebody who can put together a timing that's as like efficient and refined as a pre-planned timing. If they can do that on the fly based on, you know, how much or how little damage they did, then that's going to be like a really dominant player. And that's what I think some of these Terrans that are like dominating Zergs and stuff, this is what they're pretty good at, because there's so many little skirmishes going on and stuff, and the Zergs that win those ZVTs, they just know, they can sense out, like, okay, I have to go here now, it's gonna work. The Terran can do the same thing, and then the guy who's right wins, but this isn't stuff that you can pre-plan, because there's just been a billion variables going into it. So the Hellion plays its role, man. It's like increasing that style of play. It's vital to that style of play, so I think it's pretty cool.
Does anyone want to say anything about that, or should we just move on because Tyler's so smart?
Tyler's just smart.
Man.
The voice of reason.
Crushing brain power.
Well, Jeff, why don't you talk about your tournament specifically, and then we'll get Tyler to talk about his.
Yeah. I mean, I knew going into it I had a really tough group. Idris, Chef, Show, Boxer. I was very happy for the opportunity to play Boxer. He's not only like a living legend and a personal hero of mine, but he's, as far as I was concerned going into it, one of the most beatable Koreans of those 4. Wow, I was wrong on that. Everybody else, though, I knew I had to have a really good tournament to have a chance with. Show silently wins just about every European tournament from the beta through halfway through now. Idra, you know, one of, if not the best foreigner, up there with, in my opinion, Sen and Huck. And then Chef, the upcoming rising star ZVP specialist. So the group, for me, was going to be a make-or-break group. Like, I could either do really poorly, go 0-5, or 4, or 1-4, or something like that, or I could do really, really well. And I was going into it optimistic. We boot camped at the Chino LAN and put in a lot of hours, and I was hoping it would pay off. But in retrospect, I think one of the things that I did wrong, we did wrong as a team going into this, is that we didn't take care of ourselves like as athletes. We went into it traveling on the road for two weeks beforehand and pseudo moving into the house at the same time. So we were pretty tired, and we had done a tour of Kingston. We did some interviews. We competed in 2 different lands, 2 different tournaments. We were doing a lot of stuff. So I think we put in the hours to play, but we didn't. We were just mentally exhausted going into it. So I didn't feel on my game the whole time, and I did not perform very well at all. 0-5. I won 1 game against Show in group play, and I'm very disappointed in that. There's no way, prepared or not, the results are terrible. And I am a professional player. I'm paid to play this game. That's my job. So when I do poorly, I can have all the excuses in the world, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I still did poorly. So I definitely am putting the work in and looking to redeem myself. I don't want to be the 0-5 guy every single MLG.
Tyler, what about you? Jeff, you ended up getting 22nd. Tyler, you're right behind at 23rd, coming out of the Open. So people looking at that would probably say you had a pretty successful event. What are your own thoughts?
Yeah, well, I always judge by did I play my best that I could, and I always hate when I show up to a tournament and I don't play my best. So for a lot of the matches, I really was playing my best. So that was good. I got a good rhythm going during the Open tournament. Though I did have some close calls, a couple 2-1s that were kind of scary, that really shouldn't be happening. And then, for the last match to get into pool play, it was going to be the winner of Choya, Jinro, and they were playing on stage, and I was sitting in the front row watching, who am I going to have to play? And I didn't really know who I wanted to play. A couple of people asked me. I was like, well, I don't know, because I think it's pretty even match. Of course, I want Jinro to win, but I don't want to have to play my teammate. And I feel pretty good about PvT, but I came in with some good PvP stuff. So I don't know. Choya won. I had that stage match, and that was awesome. Then I was in pool play, and I think definitely that was the hardest pool to go into. And especially when 3 of the guys here are teammates.
Yeah.
With that little added twist for me in particular, that was a real bummer. So, but I didn't play my best, so I'm not going to complain that...
Nope. Tyler was about to complain, and the call just killed him.
He was about to not complain.
Well,
I do want to say this, though. I was really happy I beat Choya. I did knock Choya out of the tournament, and wasn't happy with my performance in other matches, but if you guys check out the replays, it's actually a really fun series.
What happened in the series, if I can ask? If I can just everyone's replay experience spoiled.
Well, first map was Tal'Darim Altar, and you have to 4-gate there, so we both did that. His turns out to be a lot better than mine. Game 2, it's your standard Proxy Phoenix into Zealot Archon DT +1 attack up against his Blink Stalker. And that's a fun game. That's what I used to beat White Raw in the NASL. And then in Game 3, both our probes kissed in the middle of the map. Our 6th probe on dual sight. They kissed in the middle of the map, and I laughed in person. I saw that and I go, ha! I was like, all right, we both knew what we were doing on dual sight. The difference is I grabbed my probe and I went back home. I was well, fuck that. Choya, on the other hand, has got balls of giant steel, man. He was like, no, I don't give a shit if you know it's coming. What are you going to do? So he did a 1 gateway with the pylon in the lower ground in my base. And because I saw it, which I think is really silly, I just did 2 gates, slightly slower than him. But if you just move the probe that he's hitting out of the way, most of the time you're going to escape without any damage. So I eventually overcame his single gateway with my 2 gateways, and then I sent 3 zealots to his base, and that did a little bit of damage because he was just then building 2 gateways in his base. Then we both DT rush each other. The difference was that I had a photon cannon in my base, and he had none in his. So he was dying, and his was doing some damage to me, but not nearly enough. That's when I came way ahead. But of course, he had proxy expand to the high yield expansion on my half of the map. So from there, it just became a simple fact that I was more established. He lost his entire main, so he had to rebuild everything, and I just had more stuff. But it was for a game 3, tied 1-1, going up against one of the Korean pros, who's a former. Was he S class?
Choya?
He played in Code.
He has been.
He is well, whatever.
Played
I mean, he
in
was.
Code S.
He's in Code B right now. He jumps around all over the place, basically.
It was my first and consequently only best of 3 victory at that MLG, other than the walkovers I took in the consolation matches. So it was a really important match for me, and I was really, really happy. It was also at like 12 a.m. or something like that night.
Tyler, I don't know why I just typed that, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why.
He's talking to somebody else right now.
Yeah.
Take that off. Yeah. Doing this stupid show right now, don't worry about it. It's just you and me right now, baby.
Tyler, just continue
Yeah.
talking.
Where did I leave off? Like playing.
You said you
Choya
weren't going
or
to complain.
play? Oh,
And then it immediately got dropped.
I wasn't gonna complain like what group I got into because I wasn't playing my best. So I think whatever group I had been put into, I might have had similar results. But I'm gonna put all the blame on TLO because I had to play him first, and he's like, last in the group. You always play last in the group first, and I'm like, okay, he's having a bad tournament. I'm coming in with momentum. I just beat Choya. I'm gonna roll TLO right now, and then he does
I heard
like
this from him.
the weirdest
He is so
ghost,
frustrating to play.
like nuke timing and shit like that, and like he totally took me game 1 with this weird build.
I can
Like-
tell you the build. So he goes barracks, factory, and then he pulls guys off gas and gets a Helien, like a naked Helien to harass you while expanding.
He does
And
this
then
all the
gets
time
a
on the
s-
stream.
And then gets a second barracks and a starport, and then he gets a Ghost Academy. So he pushes you with like 4 or 5 Heliens, I don't know, maybe 8, 10 Marauders, 2 Medivacs, and has a nuke. So Protoss has not even moved down his ramp yet. So Terran comes up with like all the tech, but not that much, and then just nukes your front.
So
he's
So
such
weird.
I played that whole thing, and I had the same feeling when I took like a psychology course at Oregon State. Like my brain was just getting fucked over and over. I was like, "There's Marauders now, and there's like Heliens trying to poke at the back of my base. I'm like, what does he think? I'm a Zerg or some shit? Like, such a weird guy. It works. It wins games, but then he went up
Yeah.
against Chef and got steamrolled. Can't work forever,
Yeah.
man.
So the problem for me was it was on Shakuris that I played in the first map, and like I decided to just go for an observer rush and play like super standard because I was playing well, and I was under the assumption he wasn't playing his best, so that's what I did. And the problem was like my observer got in his base, and I like looked around. I was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but okay, Dario, like whatever. I hadn't seen his Ghost Academy, like I didn't see the ghosts, and like I had no idea what was coming, even though I could have scouted it. It's like I scouted part of his base and thought I had seen it all. I hadn't seen it all. So this timing came, and I was like, shit, like I could have prepared for it. I could have smashed it. Like this is what my whole build revolves around, is getting an observer in their base, seeing everything, and then knowing every single response. And it's like only TLO could do this. So, but the second game I really should have won, and then that I might have put me on tilt or something, made me lose confidence or something. But I just started playing worse. I had to play Hey Pro, and like, man, Ling Banelings.
And then Hebro plays weird too.
He kind of plays weird, but like this Baneling drops, man.
Yeah.
Banelings. I still have the same opinion, man. I think Overlords need to be nerfed or something. I think the Banelings might be fine, but the Baneling drops are a little too powerful. But
You gotta hit him first, Tyler. Last MLG I had Hey Pro in the group. First game,
yeah,
I just about shat myself. I had my whole, for whatever reason, I had like Sir Scoots, like Greg was here, but Oli G is like, in control's playing, we'll watch the game. And the first game is like Banelings blowing up over here, there's Lings running in my base, and the whole time I'm like, this is so fucking embarrassing. Like I'm dying, and he's only making Lings and Banelings. And I just got shat on. And then game 2 and 3, I did the same thing. I did Blink Stalker, 7 gate plus 2 attack timing. And Ling Baneling, when they're outside of Overlords, not so good. When they're in
Yeah.
between force fields, they're like just getting mowed down. So you have to do that.
yeah. But yeah, he owned me, and then I don't know. I almost beat Dong Regu in one game.
That's
So-
one of the series that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what happened? Because that was going to be on the stage, and
So,
people were upset.
Full disclosure, We wanted to have you and DRG play because we were going to play the video that someone made with the bad boys thing at the very end where like Mr. Che comes in and talks. We're going to show that on stream. You're like, oh, this will be great. It'll be hilarious. The crowd will get a good reaction. And then we looked at the rest of the games because that's one of the things that I do behind the curtains is choose all the games that are going to be coming up on the two streams, Blue and Red, and also what's going to go out on the feature stations. And it was both games were to see who was going to go 5-0 in their groups. So it was either show you DRG and take out one of those and put them on feature one and not show that on stream, and just go for kind of the drama of you guys, or show that game on the mainstream and show the other one to see who's going to win that group on the other stage. And that's what won out, kind of by group decision. So that's why it wasn't on stage. That's why it was kind of a clusterfuck for a second there on the player pit. But what happened in those games since they weren't broadcasted?
Well, the first game was on Shattered Temple, and I decided to go for my storm timing. And I don't know how much he actually scouted of it, but because I watched him play some other games, and I was like, well, if he does this exact same thing, then the storm timing will be pretty good. But he did a different thing, and I'm not sure what his thought process was, but I tried to go just kind of for like a blind hard counter, and he knew it, and he beat it. So I was like, okay. And then the second game, I went for like a Blink Stalker +2 Archon timing off 2 base with like +2 weapons, and he had been going roaches. It was on Shakuris. He had gotten his 3rd base, and then I had this huge 2 base timing coming to hit him, and like I very nearly broke him. And he just barely defended. And so I put together a second timing because he was on 3 base and like he had a stronger army and bigger economy. So I was like, okay, that's all I can do is put together another all-in. And so I chrono boosted out a bunch of immortals off 2 robos because he had over-roached. And the problem was like when I had 4 immortals or something, he sent his suicidal Lingen to scout. And I let it get too close, and it saw the immortals. And I think right then he started preparing for a Muta tech switch. And I moved out when I had, I think, 6 immortals, and I just like demolished his army. Like he had just made too many roaches, and I just like killed everything. And I think the people watching were probably like, "Oh, Tyler's actually gonna win." And I killed the hatchet his natural, and then I like go up into his main and like 12 mutas pop. And I just didn't have enough anti-air. And the sucky thing about it was, like, I could have built, like, 2 less immortals and made another Archon, or just had more Stalkers or something. And I think I could have had enough to deal with the mutas. But I just didn't do that, so that was a bummer.
That was played not on one of the feature, right? That was just in the player
pit? Yeah, it was on the corner there, like Station 3 or A or something like that.
Yeah. So was he as scary as he thought he was going to be when you flipped out when I asked him, or when I asked
you? I was
you?
like laughing before you can finish the question.
I think he's as good as I thought he was. Yeah, I think he's really good, but I mean he's amongst maybe a dozen Koreans that I think are that good. So
right,
he's not uniquely amazing. I'm sure Nesty is better than him. So
this is true.
At least it wasn't Nesty.
We'll talk a little bit about the GSL finals. That's actually funny you say that. But MLG moving forward, what needs changed, what needs to be fixed? And Artosis, I definitely want your opinion here because you were the only one that was watching from your couch, from the streamer's perspective. So
okay.
Jeff, from a player's perspective, and also someone who probably watched a lot of the matches, before you even say it, I just want to address the chair thing. Because I know that's going to be the first thing out of your mouth.
Not necessarily.
The chair situation is that there's 2 things. One, all these events are already locked in. The floor plans have been locked in. You can't change them. Second thing is that we have to abide by the fire marshal. We can't host an event without having people walking out if there's fire. It may sound stupid, but
so flammable.
It may sound incredibly stupid, but that's the law. We would get shut down if we didn't have something like that. So that's my 2 cents on that. But Jeff, what could be improved on for future events?
Well, I mean, maybe in the future you guys could not plan for an entire year of MLGs without knowing how big they'll be. Yeah.
What? How would we do that?
Said the floor plan's locked in. You can't add more chairs. Right?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Don't do that.
It's not that it's that easy.
Because listen, I've ran this one time. I hosted a talent show and I was like 9. No. Honestly, as far as improvements for MLG go, like I don't. I'm not concerned at all. Every time I go to another MLG, it's improving, it's evolving. As little as like the fence in front of the stage. I had a conversation with the MLG guys, the previous MLG, where I said, listen, you're going to have fans and people charging the stage, taking pictures for reactionary purposes from the players. You're gonna, and it's going to be dangerous. So one MLG later, that's in place, and they're doing that, and I think that's fantastic. The refs, Ryan, who's doing Ask Me Anything on Reddit, you guys should check that out.
No, we mentioned Unsung Heroes. We didn't mention
God, Ryan's
Ryan.
good.
He shouldn't even. The fact that it's Unsung is actually poor job by all of us. He is hands down the best tournament admin I think I've ever dealt with, and that's no disrespect to some of the other admins that are listening out there. I think Laurent does a good job. Some of these guys, Torbold, but Ryan is so damn good, so damn good. So I mean, big props to him. But I don't know. Like as far as MLG is concerned, the event is pretty perfect for me. Like obviously, we're always going to complain about more chairs, but of course, there's that stress between the event and the fans that they don't want to put in so many chairs that A, they got fire marshals that are saying you can't do this, but B, you don't want empty chairs in an event too. So you can't just drop in 5,000 more chairs. Now there's 2,500 empty chairs, and people are like, "What's going on?" You know, at Anaheim, they had people standing, and here, you know, so they can't do that. And I understand that. But let's just leave time to talk about the event in general, because if we're talking about improvements, I have none. It did a fantastic job, and they're doing an amazing job developing improvements on their own.
Tyler, for you as a player and as perhaps a stage watcher?
I'll let Sean go first, because I'm so gentlemanly.
All right. Sean.
That's sweet of you, because I have to go. It's 10 p.m. This is always my Sean leaves the show early, plot time to leave, JP. That's what JP called me before the show, and we just sort of...
Yeah, it's accepted. It's accepted.
I'm having mixed feelings about the MLG rank points, because like it makes the so let me step back and talk from assuming I don't know anything about the players. It makes sense to me that if you have a bad tournament, you still might be a really good player. So you get, someone who maybe does well twice and then terrible. You still want that team in for tournament number 4. And this rank point system is a good way to sort of keep those people in. But there comes a problem with, a lot of how StarCraft 2 is changing and shifting, that when you get invites being the top playing Koreans who are practicing like crazy, really, really into it, and then some other people who were good in 2 events but might not be practicing as much for this third one, you have a weird mix of games where it's... for instance, at GSL, you sometimes have the finals not being good as the semifinals, but the games get progressively better in a general trend as you get higher and higher up. And there's just some weirdnesses where, a lot of times I would see an open bracket pairing of games and be like, ooh, we should do that. But then we'd be doing the championship pool play, because those are technically the better players, but the quality of games was kind of funky in some regards. So, some people have said things like there should be some attrition over time.
Where they degrade,
of points. And I don't actually know the specifics of the MLG rank points. It's just kind of funny to me to have a big gap between 2 events and to have all these players, going up and down and rising and falling. And then you look at the player list and some of those names you really recognize, but some of them you're like, I know that player is not as active lately.
For me, I think the thing that needs to get reevaluated going into season, I guess you can call it 3, is that it's unfair how important the early MLGs are. The first MLG, for me, I did great. I took 4th. The next 2 MLGs, I've done very, very poor. But I'm pretty set because in that first MLG where you then get launched up into the rankings, it's really hard to go from 4th to out. Like, I already get so many points for 4th, and then with each MLG after that, as long as I get 150 points here, 130 there, which you get for being in the top 25, I'm going to stay there. And, I'm not... People are using interesting words like unfair and like, do you feel ashamed and stuff? I don't, because it's the system. It's not my fault. Like, I'm not going to go to MLG and be like, hey, my moral compass is telling me that because I had 2 bad MLGs, you should eliminate me from this tournament. Like, no, it's their system. And if it benefits me, I'm going to do it. So for anyone that's wondering, oh, hey, Poa, then I'm sorry. But going into next season, they should take into account that each and every MLG should be pivotal in its own right, I feel. They should be more standalone. And if you want to have this, like, duration process, then there should be a deterioration or something like you guys are mentioning. There should be some kind of process where players need to compete at the highest level to maintain that top 16.
I think that sounds like a good idea, Jeff. That's all I'll say. But, Sean, you gotta leave us. Did you want to talk some more?
No, nah. No, I actually stopped at things like, is there anything exciting going on? Well, the HGL finals are coming up August 19th. Microsoft is looking mighty good for that event.
There's a lot of exciting shit, dude. It's too bad you have to leave early. We'd love to talk about it with you.
That's the face. I wish your webcam would have just frozen like that.
Sean's like, well, stay the game's ending for me. Is there anything else interesting to talk about? It's like, yeah. That's why we're gonna be here for another hour, dude.
Bowing out,
Sorry.
man. I'm bowing out. You
All
guys
right.
take those topics and line them up for me.
We'll see you next
So,
week.
like-
Or, we won't be
Oh.
here next week, but yeah.
Day 9 t-shirts are real now.
Oh.
If you go to jinx.com and you just look up Day 9, you will find shirts. You can be a better shirt wearer.
There you go. Wait, is
Is
that
is
Anna?
that the Anna?
Yeah, you're on Say the Game now.
Yeah, is that Anna actually on stage? It never fails,
She's
man.
calling Jeff right now.
It's like it's that time.
All right. I'm bowing out. Bye,
All right.
Jeff. Bye, Anna. Bye,
Bye.
Dan.
See you on Monday, Sean.
Daniel. And you can follow my brother on Twitter. He's calling me tasteless. I'm gonna go.
What?
Oh.
Go to handsomnerd.com as well. Figure I'll do those plugs in his honors.
Peace. All right. Let me get him out of that group. All right. Just, anyways, Artosis.
Yes.
I would say the man I really want to hear from, but I might hurt Jeff and Tyler's feelings. So,
What?
talk
Someone
to
else
me.
is man of the hour. I got every other hour in the day, man. It's fine. They can have.
The man of midnight here in the Central Standard Time. What can we improve on from like a stream watcher's perspective, Artosis?
All right. So first,
He's like got a list lined up. Jeez.
I do, man. I have a little list. The blue stream volume is completely different from the red stream volume, and that was really annoying for me, switching back and forth.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up.
I'll write this down.
For VODs, because I bought like a pass to watch it all because I'm kind of off on time zones a bit, so I'd catch like the beginning and the end, but the middle I'd try to catch up on during the day. VODs, you have to wait for it to load to jump ahead, and you don't know how much I don't want to watch. Like when I'm like just trying to get some games in and figure the games, watch MLG games so I can talk about it with you guys and be happy. I don't actually want to watch Day 9 and DJ. We like just shoot the shit while people get ready for a game. So I want to be able to jump ahead there, and I couldn't. That was upsetting.
That's Poem eating Hobbs, by the way.
And
I was
also,
confused.
I understand, but I'm really sad about no more replays because
No, the
They
replays
changed it.
are.
They fixed it.
Yeah,
They fixed it.
they are being out or released.
they're being released now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the official quote is working out the plan for releasing Anaheim StarCraft 2 replays. MLG, Lee, and Clap are the guys you want to thank for this. Official word coming soon. So
Awesome, because I was so sad. I go right to the replay page when there wasn't any MLG on, and that sad announcement. Other than that, I thought it was really well done. Maybe a little bit better ETA of what's coming up on the screen. I don't really like to try to click around websites all that much to try to find like what matches may be coming up on either stream and about how long, even if it's just general, because
So maybe
I
like a
Evo
schedule
watch.
somewhere on
Yeah,
the...
something like that, where I don't actually have to click around and stuff. You know, I like put it on my big TV through a laptop, so I'm like, it's really annoying for me to go and do it another way.
Yeah.
Oh, and I use the mobile service. Like, there's a mobile version of the MLG website you can watch on. And I like set up my iPad so I could wash dishes and watch that, but there was no high quality feature, so I could see that improved. I want high quality. Let's see what else.
It's good, man. Sundance
Just
is
a
listening
few
right now.
things.
He's writing it
Yeah.
down.
No. I think these are all fair and good ideas.
I would love a third stream too for the
I
group
think
players.
Now-
the third stream is very... I think it would be cool if we had someone who sat in the player pit and just had like an XSplit and a PC. Doesn't even have to be a commentator. He just showed important games going on and streamed them. He doesn't even have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like as much content as possible coming out of that, obviously. What else? Oh, okay. Here's another one. This one's like kind of a weird, hard one to ask. When
I
they
love
send
these.
over Korean players, try to mix in the races a little bit better, I'd say. Because
Right.
that's a big part of... I mean, until foreigners get their act together and can actually beat these guys, we're going to just see whatever Koreans are sent over up at the top. So if it's a bunch of Terrans, it's going to be a bunch of TVT. And I do like TVT, and I like to watch it, but I would have enjoyed it even more. And I was wiggling like this while I was watching it, so I would have enjoyed it even more if I had some more Protosses and Zergs in there. You know, towards the end of the tournament, it's like, well, go Dongre Gu. You're out. Damn.
Especially since Koreans are, I mean, we can all agree they're the best players right now, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would rather have a Protoss, Terran, Zerg, and then whatever, as for better racial diversity at the end of the tournament, where they're probably going to end up. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's like best case scenario, because a lot of the times the players that we want to invite initially are either still in the GSL, can't come over because of a previous commitment, going to another tournament, etc., etc. So yeah, I totally agree with you guys that racial diversity is good with who we invite over, but sometimes it's not possible. So
Yeah.
we're also
So-
you got to also remember that it's the people that we invite have to have something about them, like they have to be an important person over there. So
Yeah.
We're just voicing it. I'm pretty sure MLG knows that. I mean, it's not
exactly.
we're going to get as many
Everyone does.
Terrans in this MLG as possible. We really think they're the
we like,
the
well,
hot
hey,
right now.
Sundance
No-
likes
no
the
pun intended.
Mariners, so maybe that's why.
Sorry.
Well, other than all that huge list that I just gave you, it was like absolutely awesome. In fact, and this is selfish of me to say, but I wish there was an MLG every month. I could absolutely do a weekend like I did this weekend every single
That's
month.
selfish. Then I'm perfectly cool with you being a douche, man.
Yeah, there should be more of that.
Man, call me selfish, but I wish there was war and there's peace on Earth.
Moving forward, Dan, I heard you casted the finals.
Wait.
What?
Yeah, what about Tyler,
I have
man?
things to say, man.
No, man, Tyler, he doesn't like being asked questions on State of the Game. Don't,
Oh,
Jeff,
shit.
after
I
you
got things to say.
took a couple episodes off, Tyler was like, hey, don't ask me any more questions on the show.
Back, man. Tyler's
like-
got the bro top back. man.
Tyler,
Say something. I'll back it up.
I don't know if I have something.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
I don't know. This is a little controversial. You'll level with me, I'm sure. Well, first I'll say the easy thing, the non-controversial thing. The featured stations, which are stations 1 and 2, the one like out in the crowd,
Yep,
that
on
needs a
raised
rope
platforms.
too. That needs a rope.
that
because
it
needs
does
a rope
get swamped.
bad.
Yeah,
Like in those stages, they're sturdy stages, but they can only be so sturdy when they're portable and they're carried around in trucks everywhere. So like one person walks around, even like
need to get
you're
some,
playing a match and then on the station next to you, someone's setting up to play their match. That shit's shaking you around and stuff. You're wiggling, jiggling, but you don't want to be.
Not the good jiggle wiggle. Not the good jiggle. Not at your couch at home. You're on a match.
So, I mean, if we could like not play a match until like everyone I mean, hopefully start the matches simultaneously would be a nice little finesse move by the refs.
Right.
Of course, they're not going to finish simultaneously, most likely. So you can't prevent it all, but definitely there needs to be a rope, a little more room.
Well, I think if we got kind of what we did to the main stages and maybe put those around, that might help.
Just.
But I would agree. Like it's actually insane. Just to kind of go off on a tangent that there were times during the event, and I'm not shitting on the crowd or fans or anything, but people would go out and kind of wander outside of the player area or outside of the back area, and they would get swamped with people, and we'd have to send security in to go and fish them and pluck them out of being surrounded by crowds. And that's incredible, but it's kind of crazy.
Let me interject there, though. Like, that is functionally, it's inconvenient, but I would never have it any other way, ever. In fact, if we had it worse, where you had to detail security for each player, I would love that scenario. So while I agree with you, because I'm actually one of those guys who goes out there, and I get swamped. But I'll tell you what, it's a really sad day if it ever happens for me personally or any player or all of us when we go out there and they're rushing to the Halo Reach Dawn of War 5 Pattern Blue, where that's the new game, man, and they've got dogs and you can call in these planes that drop liquid fire, and it's so cool, and they're running right past me. I don't want that. So it sucks, kind of, but it's great. It's much more great.
I don't know where I feel like the solution to that is just have like set up autograph signing times where players can meet.
So this
with the
is
fans,
actually the controversial issue I was going to talk about. I kind of land more toward I'm tired of people coming up to me when I'm trying to do my job and compete, because and here, let me just say a little background. Like, I was a competitive swimmer for 5 years, swam year round, and then I moved on to track. I did that through high school, and then Division I for college. And just as a competitive person, you kind of have a routine when you have a competition coming up. Most people I knew, and myself included, just very quiet. If you have a competition, you're not joking around, you're not talking with people. You are absolutely focused on what you're about to do. And once you've done it, it's done, it's over, then you're back to your normal self. But until everything is done, if you're doing multiple events at a track meet or just playing one game of some other sport, then until it's done, your serious mode and your personal friends even know, don't come talk to me. Like, I'm competing and I'll be done when I'm done. And now in StarCraft 2, it's a lot more difficult, just because of the random people. So my wife knows not even to talk to me when I'm on walking when we're walking to the match.
Could have been a better way to word that.
Yeah, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I do.
My friends and family know. If I'm on my way to a match or some kind of competition, it's we're gonna go in kind of a solemn, calm mood, like a procession, all the way there, and then I'm gonna do my thing, and that's gonna be it. No one's gonna bother me about anything. But for the fans, it's totally opposite. So let me be clear. Obviously, I appreciate the love, and like Jeff just expressed, he wouldn't have it any other way. But I think the thing is until you're done, if you're there to compete and you're not there to meet and greet with fans, then you shouldn't have to be put in a position where people can come up to you. Just random people can come up to you. Yeah. And it sucks because I can't say no without feeling guilty, too. It's I don't need that. I don't need to have to say no and then feel guilty going into my match. It's I need a completely calm and focused mind, and all this shit's going on. And, I'm sure there's a guy out there that this doesn't bother them at all, and they can compete their best. But that's not me. And what I would like to see from MLG is, here's my grandmaster plan for next year. Jesus. We always get one hall.
We should have parapets above the people, like a walkway, so we can actually just walk above them and look down at them and be like, yeah, he wants my autograph. Fuck him up in my catwalk.
But it's always one hall, right?
Tyler. Yeah.
And we take a full hall. And actually, last year, StarCraft was in a separate hall, and it was a big thing when we were going to be.
That was only in Dallas, right?
Oh, was it just one?
I think that was only in Dallas, and that's the way that venue has always been like that at the what is that terrible hotel? The Hilton or some terrible hotel that's always happening.
Well, see, if the like main competition area was just a little bit separate, like a whole kind of area that it has its own entrance, and you need to have a gamer pass, wristband or whatever, not a spectator pass or media pass to get over there, and that's where you could go, and then from there you could travel paths that spectators couldn't travel to get to featured stations, to get to the main stage, stuff like that. So that basically, like, while you're competing, you're not meeting and greeting with fans. And then I think ideally it would be absolutely awesome if people could set up autograph sessions and stuff. And actually,
why are we all doing this, by the way?
I don't know. You got to tag me real quick, though, Todd. Wrap it up, man.
I don't get I don't get like Stride signings every event, and obviously not everyone has a sponsored MLG, so they don't get any signings. And like, I actually would prefer to have a signing at every event, even if I'm not done with my competition. If I can just be like, okay, this hour, I know for this full hour I'm going to be meeting with fans, and then when that's done, not meeting with fans, competition mode again. Like something like that is totally.
I get it. It's also, I mean, that can be said for other sports as well. Because, I mean, a football player doesn't, like, stop in the middle of a game to go say hi to fans.
Yeah.
It's before and after. A basketball player...
private areas until the game's over.
Exactly. So I get what you're saying, but Jeff, I got to tag you in, man, before you start rocking.
Okay. First and absolute foremost, I respect Tyler. And no, there's not going to be some huge rant. There's no but. There's not I'm going to lay in. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying... Tyler's a cerebral player. I've said this from the very beginning. He's very much so in his head about this game, both in preparation and in play. I can absolutely identify with him saying that it's hard when there's people milling about, asking for you, wanting, looking, hey, do this, do that. Can you do this for me? Can you do that? When you're trying to think about your next match and you've got this competition. And Tyler's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's a previous champion who right now, and he'll be the first to tell you, is not doing very well. So when he's going into a match, let's say he just lost 2 or something like that, it hurts worse for him than some guy who's just coming off a tournament win or has the love of the world. It's a really hard tournament for Tyler, and even to a lesser extent myself. So I understand that pain. But let me say this. In the grand scope of things, in esports in general right now, StarCraft 2 specifically, there has got to be this element where the hero of a lot of people is walking amongst them to go to their match, where they can sit close and reach out if they wanted to, touch them, and then be escorted away by security. But they could do that. There needs to be that connection, and right now, we're like pretty cool stars. People really like us, and that's awesome. And they're there to see us. And right now, the infrastructure's not in place for the kind of world that you're asking. But we're the pathfinders. We're the guys that are going to do that now, which is the less sophisticated, not quite as advanced stage. Like, you don't see an NFL quarterback walk through the fans to go to his
right.
To his team, right? They don't do that because they've excelled to the level where it's like it's understood that you have to separate them. We're not there yet. We're not getting paid that money. We're not the TV interest, that kind of stuff. So right now, we have to. It's got to be kind of a grassroots movement. Like, I need to spend the time to pull aside and say, hey, I really appreciate you coming out. I'm so thankful. And then that person goes home, and he tells him, hey, that guy was awesome. I took a picture with him. It was wonderful. And I love it. Like, I can't believe it. I used to watch him on a stream, and now here he is. And that grows and grows and grows. And then it gets to a place where MLG Season 17, they're like, okay, Tyler gets driven in on his Bugatti and taken out, and there's security, like, rushing him into the room, and they're sitting him down for his $250,000 match against so-and-so player. But for right now, I think it's really important that we self-sacrifice our comfort in the name of the greater good. And I know that's not necessarily what you want to hear because I'm sure you disagree with me vehemently. The most important thing should be the quality of your gameplay. Maybe you'll fill me in on that. But as far as I'm concerned, for right now, we need to be the best player we can while still providing for everybody else.
I want to say something about this because a ton of foreigners come down to GSL all the time, and Tasis and I found it the same as Tyler, where if we had to shoot the shit and talk and do everything before or in between when we have those little breaks where we actually just want to pee and think about what's coming up, we felt like our performance was going down. So we kind of did something in between for that at least, where we tell them, oh, we'll do all that after the show. Sorry, we can't do it right now. We're on call. We have to get ready. We have to be in the mindset. So I think like as long as you can set up that Stride booth every time, Tyler, you can probably, just direct people like, oh, I'm doing a signing tomorrow at 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be the best of both worlds, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best solution right now. And maybe that could even be like a third-party solution if MLG can't set that up immediately, just somewhere off-site where like some media group or something just has a table and they have a schedule of players and stuff. They just come by and the fans know where it's at and they can come. Something like that. I don't know. But
Someone
I just
text me. Is this Sarah? Sorry. Could have been funny.
I don't know. But I want to say to the fans, like I appreciate. I
It's like,
appreciate.
hey guys, I don't
you,
actually
but,
hate
like,
you.
Yeah, it's like I'm also trying to show you my best play, as Jeff hinted at. Is like that's all. That's what it's really about. I think the reason why you guys really love the game is for the game, and I work on stuff, and I hope like my hardest that I'll be able to show you my best stuff at the tournament, and anything that gets in the way of that, I'm trying to fix and get sorted out.
Yeah.
So I don't want anyone to get mad at me or feel upset or robbed or something if I tell them no, because I probably spend maybe an hour and a half with fans over the weekend, but I also sent dozens of them away. Just told them no, that I'm just not going to do that.
And I think
So,
they probably respected that and understood. I would think,
well,
right?
Some
If there's one message I think Tyler and I could both agree on to send out, really important, is like, for right now, people are going to have access to us, whether Tyler wants it or not.
Yeah.
They're going to. And what would be really nice is if we could get an overwhelming message, which is that this is a mental competition and a physical competition. It's really, really, it's tough to do at the highest level. It really is. So if you go to one of us and say, hey, do you have a minute for a picture or for an autograph, please understand if any of us say no, like Tyler, it's not because he looked at you and decided that he hates your sneaker shoes, or he doesn't trust the way you're holding that camera. It's more likely that something else is going on. And the reason I say it, JP, is because what you're hinting at is like, well, most people understand. I would say, yeah, most people do. But even in this chat and a few times in other places too, it's like, well, he didn't even have time for a picture. And like they take that micro moment and they apply it, and they're like, man, a picture takes 15 seconds. He didn't even have 15 seconds. Like, there's other stuff going on.
Keep in mind, too, guys, that depending on where you ask me, if one person asks for a picture, there's 99% chance that 10 more people are going to come. And it's at least a 5-minute thing, and that's every time I send people away. I would win a match, and I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to ignore everyone after I just won. I would do, like, 15 or 20 people, and there would still be a crowd, and I'd just be like, I got to draw the line here, guys, and I would leave.
There was one moment for me in the entire tournament where I actually realized this was happening, and it was kind of like spiraling out of control. Sean was over at the feature station. We had our hour lunch break or something like that, and there was just a huge mass of people, and I was like, oh, a Koreans playing at Feature 1 or something like that. They're watching the game. And about 20 minutes passed by, and I had my earbud in, and someone was like, hey, anyone have eyes on Sean? We need him to come back here and start casting. And I was like, I'll see if he's around here watching some of the players play. And I asked Ryan more, and he's like, no, you see him over there? You see that giant crowd? They're around Sean. They're not watching the station. And I look over there, and there's probably 20 people in a line and like surrounding him, and he literally cannot get out, even if he tried to like fight his way out. And that's where I think it kind of gets sketchy because he's got to go do his job.
And removes his battle axe.
Yeah, and he just like starts chopping nerds down. But he's got to go do his job. He's got to be there on time. And he doesn't. He's obviously going to be. He will never say like, "Hey, I have to go." He'll sit there and sign autographs all day because that's just who he is. But there needs to be either kind of what Sundance just said on Twitter. He says, "What if we had a pre-event / media fan day?" And add cost to the fan/MLG/players. Would you guys be up for something like that before the tournament? To have like a day devoted to fans?
I would do that, and I would sign the
media?
entire time. Like that's what I would say. The more
that,
the merry is what I'm saying. So I think that would feed Tyler's argument, where he's like, hey, if he tweets ahead of time or posts, Team Liquid does him the favor and just says Team Liquid's players will be signing on X day. Please respect their performance during the competition. I think a lot of people would be on board with that. But for me personally, I would say I'd do that. and the entire event, I would allow it to my discretion to say, hey, right now I can't because I'm protecting my mental stability for the game. Or, yeah, sure, I've got a few minutes to sign some autographs.
Yeah. Dan, do you have any thoughts on that solution? Would you be up for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit more in the same boat as Jeff. I mean, sometimes I get too surrounded, I just have to break myself away. But I want to interact with the fans as much as possible. I actually love to meet StarCraft fans, man, because they're nerds like me. So
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Dan and I can share the story on this too at NESL. A quick guideline for people who are, who want to go to an MLG Raleigh, who want to go to an IPL event, NESL, whatever, and then meet their favorite players, which is awesome. If they're eating, do not
Dude,
ask
oh my
them
God.
for an autograph. Just let them chill. That's their time.
remember when you were
give them
carrying the
space.
food and that guy was like,
That's the
"Wow,
story.
you're a dick in control." Like,
What?
Yeah. I'm walking away from where the concession stand where you buy the food.
Uh-huh.
And this guy, and the guy goes, "Wow, at control, too good for us, low people," or something like that. And I stopped, and I'm like, and I turn around and go, "Dude, I'm holding food in my hand, man." And he's like, "Whatever." It's like, oh shit, I can do no right here. So then another funny one too is we sat down, and the guy walks over and goes, "Hey, at control, can I get a picture of you eating that hot dog?" And I'm like,
yeah, you were eating a hot dog and I was eating a fruit salad, and he's like, "This is perfect."
I quite plainly go, "No, I would like it if you did not." And he goes, "Okay." Snap.
Yeah. No, what you do there is like, why would he even ask? He'd just take the photo, and you guys would never know that the photo was taken.
Yeah. So if with food, don't. If they just lost a match,
That's the big
Oh
one.
yeah.
not a good
I,
time.
I've made the mistake of that because I don't know a lot of what's going on in the player pool, and I think it might have been Tyler. I like walk up and I'm all fucking.
Me.
Oh, was it? I was all cheery and like gleeful, and I walk up. Hey man, how's it going, Jeff? And you're like, I lost. I'm like,
Oh no. That might have been Tyler. That sounds
it,
like
it
I
was
think
someone.
it
I
might have-
was like, oh my god. I just
I
like,
sort of
like
do.
I'll talk to you later. And I just like turned
Yeah.
around.
I'm 1-1 with somebody in my group. I think it was like Slush or something. Really important match last MLG.
Was this
And
the
you walk
stream
over
thing?
and you're like, "Hey Jeff, hold off on that game number 3. We're gonna stream
right,
it."
right.
And I get
Oh yeah.
my head down. I'm like, I'm 1-1 in this important match, and you're gonna ask me to hold the fuck on so you can stream this? I said no.
Yep. And I was like, all right. And then
Okay.
I went and found another match.
Yeah.
So
Every player knows though. Like if you see another player and you're like, "Hey, how are you doing?" and you can just look, tell by their face and like the first 3 words out of the mouth, like you know if they've just lost.
Yeah.
And then
You
your
just-
whole like your whole
Everything changes,
mindset
man.
toward them changes. You're like, oh, okay, man.
yeah,
Look at-
I've done that
and you
multiple
don't
times.
say
with
another
players.
word.
Mhm.
The fans just don't know. They just don't know what it's like, I guess.
No, they have no idea, man. I've had so many people come up when I've lost something important, like that I shouldn't have or something, and they just like pat me in the back. They're like, "It's all right, Koreans, right?" And I'm like, I'm actually sitting there quietly like this, and like,
I could see you
Yeah.
just fuming.
I've watched
quietly.
Dan get argued with from a fan. A fan walked up and was like, "Shouldn't have done that one thing. Should have totally done something else." And Dan was like, Dan gets flustered sometimes. He's just like bewildered and like treading feet in the middle of a land, like, and the guy was like, "Yeah, you shouldn't have done that, man. Yeah."
what am I supposed to say to that? I mean,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Well,
So don't
Yeah.
take this as we think we're better than
yeah.
everybody.
Now that we've
That's
shit
fine.
on all the fans and you
No,
understand that we
not all the
hate
fans. Literally 2 in my stories. But please, if we're eating or just lost a match,
you. All right. Well, I can transition into something awesome here. Except it wasn't awesome. Hey, Dan, you did a GSL final over the weekend,
Yeah.
and
Oh, that is a cute dog. Hold on. Oh my
Oh.
god. Is that a Pomeranian?
it's a Pomeranian American Samoa.
Jeff is like so
Eskimo.
upset. The world has to know that his girlfriend.
No, it's fine. This is the dog that will kill Hobbs.
It's waving. Oh, I love.
I think that was Anna like moving its paw.
What did Greg say? Oh yeah, he will.
So Dan,
Anyways,
the GSL
yeah.
finals,
Yeah.
4-0.
It was pretty standard for a GSL finals.
Yeah.
We had one of the 5 people who've been able to win a GSL win another GSL.
Yep.
And it was a total ownage, one-sided, ridiculous
You're
match.
not getting off this easy, by the way, Dan. Keep going though.
Well, I mean, Nesty is obviously the best player in the world by like 10 times. There's like, I don't think many people would even try to argue that. Not even the people doesn't matter what race you play or anything. You can just look at Nesty and be like, oh, you're the best. So I don't know, man. He's so good, and it was completely one-sided as always. It was so quick. It was funny because you could see that it was like planned out. Like they started playing commercials right away. It skipped in between every game instead of every second game. Like
That's true. There was a bigger
after
breaks,
that first game, man. After that first game, I was like, oh god, I thought this was actually going to be close. Why did I think that? I feel so stupid. And you could tell it was going to be a 4-0 basically after the first
Is Nest
game.
T hurting esports?
No, he's doing a good job by not flying around too much right now. So, I mean, if he was going to every tournament, that'd be ruining esports, because then we'd have like the sickest bone of all time.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if he shows up to an MLG, does he automatically win? Do we hand him the check when he walks in?
If you put him into a group so he doesn't have to be tired and stuff going through all the brackets, yeah, you just hand him the check, man. Some people like prepare builds and matches like MC, but Nest T will actually just counter everything. So I don't know. He's like perfect for that type of tournament. The way he plays, he's just completely reactive. He's so smart. Yeah.
Man,
Jeff?
Artosis thinks he's pretty good.
I think he's better than pretty good. I can actually keep going, Jeff. I mean, I can
Please
talk
do.
about Nest T all day. Listen,
His
Nest T,
hands, the veins that run down to his
listen,
fingers.
he's tall.
good.
Too. He's like 6'3". He's a handsome guy. He's funny. He's,
Him and Artosis are the two oldest people in the building.
You give him a cup of Starbucks coffee and a cup of McDonald's coffee, you can tell them apart every time. He's good at dodgeball. He's
taste
an
like
amazing
capitalism.
youth, man. He's Nest T. I don't know what to say. He's the best. Three GSLs. He didn't lose a game to win the GSL, Jeff.
He's freaking good, man. I'm not trying to say he's bad. He's obviously really
Stop trying
good.
to say he's bad, Jeff. He's good. All right. Jesus. I don't know why you do things like this.
He's really good. The guy I played against in those finals were really bad.
Oh, Lucira?
No, Lucier's not bad. I'm just saying the games were bad, man. I'm just
Oh, yeah.
ZVZ really.
Well, he's won a ZVT, a ZVP, and a ZVZ finals. It's pretty impressive.
Who did he play in the ZVP final? Is that Hongan?
Inca.
Oh no, Inca. That's right. Oh, that was the.
Hung in a finals.
That was
Jay.
that was the
He won
DT
DT.
finals, right? That was
He won ZVDT.
Yeah, that was the DT finals.
Yeah.
Will it work this time?
So, Jeff and Tyler, do you guys have any thoughts on the GSL finals? Did you guys watch it, by the way? I stayed up
Yeah.
and watched it, then I regretted it as soon as it was
ZVZ
over.
right now is just really aggravating to watch. Like I really. And again, it's not like it's the player's fault at all. Okay, I'm eating the cat again.
Well, I thought that was someone sighing into
It's Roach Ling timings, and like the whole game's like first 20 minutes are the tension between when that's going to happen. Like, is it now? Okay, then I'll make 35 drones. Oh, we did it! Damn, GG! Like that was really cool.
Well, that's actually because no one really gets exactly what ZVZ is. Like,
Yeah.
the only person that actually ever played correctly against Nest T was Damaga. Every other ZVZ he's played, like, yeah, he's lost a few games, but it's like, how do I word this correctly? If we had more Damaga Nest T ZVZ matchups and it just kept going, then ZVZ would evolve, I think, to the point where no one ever attacks, because you can't. Because you just
Investor.
keep on... You start making medium amounts of units, and then your opponent drones a little bit more, then you drone a little bit more, but you have to keep making units so no one can hit any of these dumb timings that we see, especially from players like Jelizerg. So, I don't know, I think eventually, if we can finally get some players of Nest T's caliber playing against Nest T and ZVZs, we might see it go so completely different, especially since Nest T's already hinting towards Mutas being the new ZVZ, and he's used it a few times to
Mutas into
insanely
Ultras.
good effect. Yeah, it should be the best. I mean, why should Roaches be the best? It shouldn't be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's move on.
Move on. Well, the next thing has to do with GSL somewhat. Incredible Miracle got first, second at GSL, and MVP won MLG. Are they one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest team right now in Star 2?
I mean,
No, I wouldn't say they're the strongest team actually at all. I think they have the two strongest players.
who's the
maybe.
strongest?
It's really hard, man. It might be, NS Hoso is like suddenly really good as a team. Slayers
What?
is a sick team too. Yeah, no, NS Hoso, man. They are
Dan,
actually kicking ass.
your hype for a player can only go so far. You cannot keep doing that.
I'm like, because of Sage. No, man, they have some of the best players, man. Stop.
I know.
Take me seriously.
Like, name some of the big ones. They've got
Seal. Have you seen Seal play yet?
Seal. Have you seen him sing? Married to Heidi Klum. Guy's freaking awesome, man. He's getting serious. All right, I'll stop trolling. But honestly, how can you compare a team that's just got done winning the GSL and MLG to a team that's won?
Well, Ennis Hoso is the new Slayers. Remember, Slayers came out of nowhere and beat IM in the finals of GSTL. Like, they were a terrible team, and then bam, they're so good. And the Ennis Hoso is doing the exact same thing right now. They don't have a lot of players in the leagues, so their players aren't famous enough to get invited to things like that. They don't have big sponsors or anything like that. So we don't see them yet, but I think that they might possibly be one of the best teams. They actually have insanely good players. And it's like a strong, broad lineup.
How are they doing in the GSTO?
They're winning it. They're in first place by far.
Yep.
I was really upset at that news. You done messed up now, Dan. This is a huge, incredible.
Is IM the best team in the world in your opinion, Jeff?
In my opinion, yeah. I mean, I have a really tough time getting away from the three big dogs. Like, best Zerg player in the world, probably the best player, Nesty. Not even probably. He is the best player, right? I mean,
Nesty is the best player, man.
He's
MVP
lost like
might be sick.
two or three games and 2 GSLs. What the fuck? What did I just say?
No, I know, it's insane.
And then MVP, probably the best Terran.
Does that make it like the best team though? Just because you have Jade on?
Yeah,
doesn't
I mean,
make
that's kinda-
Unsung best team.
Well, it depends on how you look at a team. If you're doing Korean winners style, that is the best team. If you're talking about deep roster and like
That's what I was
quality throughout
taking into
all their
consideration.
players. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe not.
It's ironic and kind of silly that the next thing on the list is for you guys to explain why calling Nesty the Bonjour might be too soon to label someone that in StarCraft 2.
It's definitely too soon, but he's
Yeah, it
making
is.
a case.
If he wins this GSL, then he's the Bonjour. That's it.
For a fourth one, you think?
Yeah, no. The thing is, it's not just winning a bunch of tournaments, or Nada would
can you
still be the Bonjour.
Explain, because I feel like that term's kind of gotten generalized.
Okay,
after
it's
StarCraft
like
2's come out.
The player that when he enters a tournament, you say he is going to win, and it comes true. Like, it's only happened with 4 or 5 people ever, and you have to do it all in like a certain time span because no one's Bonjour for too long. It's like maximum a year or something. Someone keeps that up where they're always in the finals, like Flash and Jade have been doing StarCraft 1, and Nesty might start doing now.
Well, what do you think? Do you think just winning the... I mean, and I don't use the word just. I guess it's really poorly worded. Winning the next GSL does that? Because in my opinion, he needs to make appearances in other tournaments.
Yeah, that would be great if he can, but he can't because GSL is this month-long tournament, and he just keeps getting so deep. And the thing is, like, the players that come over and completely dominate those tournaments are the players that can't beat him. So, I mean, they're great tournaments and they mean a lot, but like where Nesty is going to be the hardest thing to win. Maybe.
Are they still? When I was in Korea, they had tournaments going on all the time in between GSLs that weren't necessarily getting discussed internationally. Are they still doing that at all?
Not
those
as much.
invitationals?
No, not nearly as much as before.
So I guess it's just the GSL in Korea then. Is it
They,
safe to say
pretty
that?
much, yeah. There hasn't been another LAN tournament in a long time, in months, and
They're doing a WCG, I guess, right?
a what? Oh yeah,
They have
WCG.
to
That's
do WCG.
next weekend actually.
So WCG, GSL. There's a couple others I think that he has an opportunity to do. Isn't there like a China tournament formulating?
Yeah, there's some
over
China
there?
tournament,
IEM's
like,
starting to come to
this
shape.
week or something.
Is IEM going to be invitational or qualification
I think IEM is invitational for
for the Korean players?
but I'm not completely certain about that. I think it is though because they don't have enough time to really play qualifiers and stuff. It's so GSL based.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he's making the case. I think everyone would agree on that, at least.
Tyler, you've been kind of quiet on the whole Nesty thing, and also on the IM thing. What are your thoughts?
I don't really know about the teams, but Nesty, I think I agree with what Dan has pretty much said. He's not yet, but
Getting
It's
close.
getting very close.
Yeah.
Very close to that, yeah.
So the next thing, foreigner teams picking up Koreans, and this is kind of old news, but we didn't have a show last week when a lot of that shit started going down. The first one, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I feel like a lot of people have already said a shit ton of stuff about this. And
What?
A shit ton of stuff about this. But so EG picking up Puma. Who was the first one that started with the SK MC Nada? We talked about that a little bit. And then the whole EG Puma thing went down. And I don't want to talk about the controversy with all that shit because I feel like it's already been talked about. Complexity with MVP, so I bite my tongue somehow. And then I think that's it right now. But foreigner teams are picking up Koreans, and it's going to get... I mean, Complexity's already said that they want to support and will support all of MVP. Is this kind of a sign of things to come? Foreigner teams moving away from actual foreigners and picking up Koreans?
Well, yeah, because the Koreans are going to win much more and place much better, but I think it's going to shoot way up and then drop a little bit, because are you really going to fly your B-class Korean out to battle the A-class Koreans that come out? And also, the foreigners are going to have to pick up the slack and actually start practicing more. This isn't like StarCraft 1 where you can't make a living. So the fact that you can make a living, there needs to be more people making houses like EG and like TLO's done in Sweden and stuff like that. Or it'll just all be Koreans and a few foreigners like Warcraft 3 or something.
I mostly agree. I think it's a necessary step in the sense that if you're looking at your team and you want to bring in a winner, it's going to be a Korean right now. That's the easy place to go. But also, if you want, in terms of business sense, to the best chance to improve your team, what's more expensive? Flying your entire team to Korea and having them stay there for a month?
Yeah.
Or potentially purchasing a player or two and having them come out and boot camp with you for a period of time. And of course, it's not the same to compare the two. It's not like it's spending time in Korea is by far the best thing you can do for your team, but not everybody can do that. So having these players who are looking look at the perspective from the Korean player too. It's really expensive for them to go to these foreigner tournaments. So if a foreign team's like, "Hey, we'll pay for you to go. We want to give you a salary, and we want you to be on our team in some fashion." And for most teams so far, what that's meant is that they wear their jersey outside of Korea. That's a pretty frickin' sweet deal. So of course they're going to say yes. And if the Western teams have the money, the Korean teams don't right now. That's going to happen more and more. So it's a win-win for everybody, pretty much.
Tyler, you got any thoughts on it? Are we going to... Well,
No, I mean, pretty much what I said when we first talked about,
the
what was it,
FXO
SK?
and SK thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for everyone, pretty much.
Short and sweet.
And it's good for the tournaments too, man. Like
really
I
is.
would not
Yeah.
want to see an MLG won by a foreigner that didn't have, in this day and age, have some Koreans at it. Like, it wouldn't mean anything. We need the best players at these tournaments, so that when a Huck takes down a DreamHack, when a Huck takes down
It's a story.
Home Story Cup over MC, it's like a hell yeah moment,
Yeah.
But when a guy takes down an IEM Cologne invitation, whatever, it's like cool. Really cool finals against Kaz. It was really close, but it's not the best. So
Yeah. And I think as the tournaments go on, I mean, in Columbus we saw... Was there 5 Koreans? Was there someone outside of the 4 that we invited?
July came in through the open.
Oh,
bracket.
that's right, that's right. So there was 5 there. This past event there was 9. Raleigh might even have more. I mean, I think they're starting to see that the fan base over here is ridiculous, and a lot of the Koreans tie in or see that, and they want to come over here and kind of learn that. I think Slayer's had a great time at MLG. Boxer was, after talking to him after the event, said that he had like one of the most fun times being at a StarCraft 2 tournament because there were so many fans out there that Artos, from what I've been told, doesn't really happen so much in Korea right now with Star 2.
Yeah, it's the scene is still kind of divided. There's a lot of times more foreigners show up to the GOM studio than Koreans. We actually get a ton of foreigners showing up all the time now. And I mean, the players are less accessible, and the fans are less crazy about it over here than in the foreign scene. The foreign scene is amazing as far as fans go.
Yep.
It's
awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, there was I told Dan, I think I might have told Tyler this as well, and maybe Jeff. The player. There was 2 moments at maybe 3 when Jinro's new kit against Choya The crowd went crazy, and that GG ended, or that ended the game. That was awesome when the fans reacted to that. When Boxer won and came outside, and the crowd went fucking ape shit against, I think that was the Rain series. That was awesome. And then for the finals, during the intros, where like everyone stood up when I was doing the introductions, I had to put the mic down at my side because I was like taken aback by how many fucking people were there, how loud it was. The stage was shaking. I got a rush of adrenaline to where I almost like couldn't say the next words because I was kind of taken back by that. But it's gonna get crazy, and I think that's just a sign of things to come. But moving along, Season 3 maps. I know a lot of us have been traveling, but we have some experience with it, so you guys can open up the JPEGs because we're not going to remember the names of them. But Artosis, you've played some ladder. What are your general thoughts about the maps?
The Nerazim Crypt, that Twilight map with the 4 watchtowers in the center. So far, I have no problems with it. It's pretty cool so far. I haven't played these too much yet, but my first impressions are completely fine on that. I'm not going to thumbs it down. The Siren Crater, labeled as a rush map on the fire.
Don't make fun.
Blizzard.
Come
God,
on,
dude. I
Dan?
have to. It's too cute.
Dan, don't make fun, man.
I have to, man.
He is going to make fun of me. I think
But no. Anyways, apparently it's a rush map, but it's Backwater Gulch remade better. Like if you look at it, just stare at that JPEG for a minute. Tell me you don't see someone looked at Backwater Gulch and they were like, we want to make something like this that's not terrible. And I think that's what they've tried to do here. So far, I have completely nothing wrong with that map.
You're
then
like
this
really positive about this.
I'm a happy guy, man. I love StarCraft too. I'm like crazy about it.
Yeah.
Abyssal Caverns. This map I don't really like. I just look at it and I haven't noticed anything yet in the games I've played that made me upset about it. But I look at it, I'm like, this is not going to be a good map, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's something rubs me the wrong way looking at that. And then Antigua's Shipyard I haven't gotten somehow after many games on the ladder. I don't know what's going on with that.
Jeff?
I'm not going to go through them quite as detailed as Dan did. I will say, in general, I think they're fun, but I don't know that they're necessarily competitive level maps.
Right.
One or two might make an appearance, but a few of them have extremely short rush distances, which keeps happening for Blizzard. And I'm constantly perplexed as to how that continues to happen because it continuously.
Which one has a really short rush distance? I didn't really notice that.
Obviously, the one labeled Rush.
No, man, it really doesn't. It's not too bad.
Can't remember the name of it. I'm not looking at it. It was close spawn locations. It's pretty bad. It's not like it's not Steps of War, so you're not hearing me say that it's the worst we've ever seen. But
well, I think you're talking probably about Nerazim Crypt.
Yeah, that's
and
kind of close.
The ramps come out at a funny little angle
I think so.
where it's hard to actually get around them. It makes it a lot longer than it looks when you first look at it. So I think that might be what you're thinking of. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I know I've played more games on these maps than you have, so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to.
How do you know that?
Well, Dan, it's that awkward time where someone's like, "What do you mean this dress looks bad on me?" It's like, The maps are okay. They're good for the ladder. What I don't like, and I think this is something we've talked about in the past, is how like just random they are. Like these maps keep popping up in GSL, MLG, like all the major tournaments, and then Blizzard's like, "We made maps." It's like, well, thank you, but it's like, someone made dinner and the guy walks in with a frickin' fruit salad. Like, yeah, we didn't need that. We have,
why don't they just
cater
hire someone to do it, like a professional map maker from Korea or something?
I would like cohesion between the tournaments. I think we're really spoiled with Brood War, where we had a map of the week system where it was like, hey, I know that WCG is coming up, so if you play on these maps, you get extra points. They encourage you to play on them, so you can train for your event through the ladder. Because you're not alienating
They did that
noobs.
in Star 1? Blizzard did that?
Yeah.
Well, no, Blizzard had nothing to do with that.
Oh,
They didn't do
this was the
Blizzard didn't make
That was a
ladders.
system invented outside of Blizzard.
This was Kespo, right?
Oh.
So
Was it Kespo, or is it
That's
OG and
Ice
NBC
Cup.
in particular?
give me the
No,
give me the full
I mean the
details on
people
that,
making
Jeff,
the
after
maps.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, in StarCraft 1,
Yeah,
they had Kespa hired an official map maker for that.
yeah,
But I'm also talking about iCup, which was like
yeah.
legal,
Yeah.
you
the
know.
way we practiced, yeah.
That was the ladder we used, and they had the foresight to connect the ladder to events that were coming up in some way, shape, or form. So I know that that's a utopian perspective to have, but I'd love it if Blizzard would make steps in that direction.
Mm.
Yeah,
terms of
it
their-
seems like they're just kind of ignoring the problem of, the map problem in the competitive scene. They're just like, oh, well, we're just going to keep making our own maps
We
for
made
our
more.
own ladder.
You're going to have to custom to do practice for a tournament now. You can't actually... That's going to affect you a lot, Tyler, I think. You're not a custom guy, man.
And I don't want to be overly negative
Single
either,
player, man.
but the maps aren't like they're not
It's
blowing
okay.
me away. They're not like gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
this took a team of people to make. They're actually fairly generic, pretty plain in concept, and they're
Yeah.
just named after lore that none of us know about. I really like. I'm seeing
That's
these
probably
maps get
so
released,
true.
and I'm like, wow, this is really cool and gorgeous, like Belshire Beach. Don't particularly like the map, but it's really cool. And
Yeah.
then Blizzard comes out with the Tombs of Nelgroshnik, and it's like 4 base locations, couple of destructible rocks in random places. By the way, what the fuck is with those destructible rocks on that one map?
Jeff,
And it
have you
was-
seen the
Oh.
Edward StarCraft interviews chicks video? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I got through about.
What do you
8
think about
minutes of that
what do you think
before I
about
checked.
destructible rocks on the thing that connects the bra?
You know what actually makes that so funny though is the question's great, but it's actually how fast he pushes the microphone at the person.
Yeah.
After he says it that makes it amazing. It's like he just got done asking a real bone-crushing hard question, like, "Why'd you sleep with that guy?" It's like that, but it's actually like, "What do you think about destructible rocks in your bra?" And they're like, "I heard you say bra."
The funny part is that he cut it perfectly where it stays on the scene for like 1 second to get the initial reaction, and then it cuts to another person answering a question. It's actually I
think
shouldn't promote that video, but go watch it.
He's like a Sasha Cohen dude.
Yeah,
It's
he
gonna-
really
it's gonna
is.
come out and step
He
in your
really
eyes like,
is.
You
Um,
fuckers thought I was serious the time.
I just want to apologize. Someone brought up the fact that the White Raw crowd moment on the end of Saturday night where I introduced them was awesome. It was, but I fucking shit on Drewby when that happened. Like we introduced White Raw, and I'm like, and we've got no. I said the exact words were, before I introduce the fan favorite, let's introduce Complexity Zone
Yeah.
Drewby. I said that. I was like,
AP!
I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, oh,
Oh
fuck.
my god!
Good job.
Well, before
Yeah, I
that,
was watching that live, man. I felt bad for
oh
Drewby.
god,
His like lunch pail, and he's like,
oh my god, I felt so bad.
"I'm Blake Karen," and he like walked to his booth, and then they're like, "And now, ladies and gentlemen,
And oh god, I was like,
fan favorite."
the fan favorite 10 and 0 or 10 best of threes, the Beast from the East. And like I introduced him, the crowd goes crazy. It was awesome. But then I'm just like,
My name is White Raw, and so pleased to be playing in front
Yeah.
of all of you.
I'm sorry, Drew. That was fucked up of me, man. Anyways, now that I've gotten that out of the way, Tyler, did you want to speak any more about the season 3 maps?
I didn't have much to say about him. I seem to only get Nerism Crypt and Abyssal Caverns. So
Okay.
I'm looking at the images of the other 2 maps, and I'm like, I haven't played these
You've never
maps.
seen these before.
Yeah, and I don't have anything like vetoed or anything, so it's kind of weird. But
Which maps did
I-
they take out? Metalopolis. Is Desert Quadrant still in there? Or
Delta
Yeah,
Quadrant.
Delta Quadrant,
No, it's gone.
Yeah, that was a
Backwater
tough choice,
Gulch is gone. Right.
It got systematically removed from every tournament, the tournament after they had the map, and then it's probably the most thumbed down map except for Terran players.
No.
By the way.
Hold on. Is Shit Pit still in the map pool?
No,
I think that's gone, yeah.
No,
Oh
it's
my
gone.
God.
you got
it's
rid
gone.
of that, and Scrap Station. It took them like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
7
Scrap
months.
Station's gone. Yeah.
It was actually I saw a
Finally.
poll. It was Scrap Station and the Phoenix Graviton Beam Bum or bug. That was the 2 things that took them the longest to figure out.
Shakuris is gone. Oh, wait, no, Shakuris is still there. The
First to say.
Shattered Temple is still there. That's the only close spawn map left, I think, which is a little bit annoying.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, hey, I like Nerism Crypts. I'll say that. I think Dan is
Yeah,
that
it
the one.
seems
you like?
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Abyssal, I don't like so much. And the other 2, I don't know.
Wow,
Never
you
seen-
agreed with me. Look at that. You're so smart, Tyler.
Best part is seeing
Thanks.
Jeff's eyes like glare at Jeff's side of the screen with Artosis on it. And we still got some stuff to talk about, man. North American BattleNet Invitationals next week. And I think
Who's in that? I actually didn't see that.
This is going to be the talking point of this topic. Kiwikaki Select, Idra, Huck, Sheth, TT1, the final two players, which are going to be the controversial ones, I'm sure. DDE and Ostajoy.
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 Well, how did they choose this list?
Completely out of a hat.
Some of it has to be ladder, but like
I'm not too sure.
No, it was not ladder. There's no formulaic way that they chose that has been announced. It's
I look at Ostajoy and I'm like, I don't get it.
Hold on, Dan. Hold on.
Yeah.
Ostajoy has one.
Wait, are we gonna have another Idra moment right here? Is this? We gotta.
No.
Hold on. He's figuring
on.
out what he won. He's writing it down.
Well, he placed Heliens.
Well, that's where I'm getting at. I mean, I don't.
He's on team.
Here's his claim to fame. Jeff knows how to pronounce his name.
He's
there.
Yeah.
He's made it.
He has
When he played
competed.
StarCraft 1, he was.
Hang on. He competed in.
He was like B minus, right?
Really
B.
fucking good though, dude.
No,
He's
yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah.
During foreigner hours, but still.
You know his name backwards. I don't know. I got nothing. So.
Yeah, I don't know either.
DDE on the other hand.
Peculiar. DDE he's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
He is. I still don't know why it was chosen like this, but but I mean, you can actually name some things that he's done.
Yeah.
He won that one term. Which one was it? It was like for $2,000 too. Pretty good.
Wasn't? No, he didn't. It wasn't the SC Reddit. He
won
won
a bunch
shit
of
ton of
those,
SC Reddits. I know that.
Yeah.
Not the Invitational, but the Opens. He won a fuck
Crushed
ton
him.
of those.
He beat Idra in it.
Yeah, he's being Greg.
It's really though. How did they choose this? Because I'm looking at it in my mind, and
Don't invoke the anger in Greg, Jeff.
Let me see if you guys.
I don't get it, man. Like TT1 has actually fallen off the scene. He disappeared. He's gone, right? Like, does he play still?
No, he almost
He
beat,
lost to Destiny.
He almost beat Destiny at MLG. Yeah.
It must be Destiny in like round 3 of Lucifer bracket.
Well, I mean, he was doing really well for a while, but are they actually like taking a screenshot at 6 months and then at 1 year inviting those players? Like,
I don't know.
Let me say this: I met David. That was weird. I met David Kim.
I meet David.
MLG. He is perhaps one of the single most adorable and enjoyable people I've met in like 5 seconds. He was like, "Hi, I'm David Kim. It's really nice to meet you. You should come to Blizzard." And he like walked away, and I was like, "Oh, what a nice guy."
Yeah, he's so nice.
So I actually have no criticism for him ever, because he's super nice and awesome. I can't not like that guy. Yeah,
I don't know what that has to do with what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I apologize, but yeah, they haven't said anything. In the past, it was the latter, and they announced that like I think it was two, maybe 3 days before they actually made the announcement. Or
No, I thought they just grabbed the two players and they're like, "These guys, Blizzcon,
They couldn't do it this time because of the drop hacking, though, and I appreciate them recognizing that at least. That was good. Could you imagine a drop hacker showing up to BlizzCon? It'd be the first public murder.
So the question I have is, should it just be Idra Huck, Sheth Select, Kiwikaki in the tournament?
No, man.
No, I'm happy with it. I like.
You're happy with the
DD? Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's a weird selection, but they add controversy to it. I think DD's going to do well. He's going to beat people. And Ostajoy is actually a pretty good Zerg. My joking aside, he'd actually...
all the players are
he's a good player.
but is this like actually the top lineup that
Who
you
gets
want
in
there? I'm
ahead
not
of
sure.
America has.
Who gets in
Ahead of Ostajoy? I would put either of you guys in front of him. I mean,
Well, I appreciate that. Need more results is what... I mean, well, okay.
What? I
I
don't
don't
know what to say, man.
I'm trying to be humble.
It's like no results versus some results. Well, I'll take some results.
Does Destiny deserve to be there more than Ostajoy? Because that was the big uproar.
You can't ask
on
that
all
question.
What?
That was the big uproar?
That was the big uproar on all forums. Was like, why isn't Destiny here?
You're asking, will Reddit hate you now? Or will they love you? Just ask that question.
I think they should remove Voyager and put in Destiny.
I think not only does Destiny deserve to be involved in that tournament, I think he should actually already be crowned victor, move on to BlizzCon, where he would obviously defeat everyone in succinct fashion. It would go something like Bomber, Nest T, MC, MVP, Holt, and then he'd win.
So, I don't know if you guys know if this is a thing or not, but apparently it's general knowledge that State of the Game hates Destiny.
Absolutely atrocious.
It is?
I've come here to change that.
Yeah.
Like everyone
thinks? Yeah,
You could say it's...
Dan's like, my master plan is worked.
Oh man, I don't know. There's
It's actually
some
not-
hardcore
it's not-
fans.
it's not-
you know
it's
who
not funny to
his
listen.
fans remind me
Destiny-
of? What?
Destiny took games off of Huck, and he beat Bomber.
He's playing well lately, but I just
Case
want to point out
closed.
his fans are a lot like Day 9's fans, where it's like actually they're so supportive. Which I mean, I guess that's good, but I don't know. It is what it is, you know. It's the fans for him are so hardcore, and for some reason they think he's like the greatest player in the world. He's had great results lately, but I mean, I guess he's had better results than Osagy, so sure, put him there over him.
Yeah.
Tyler, you haven't
It's
said
a-
a word about these picks.
Talk about Destiny, Tyler, real quick.
I didn't say that.
Good man.
I'm like, no, Tyler, wait. Don't do it.
Wait, I haven't actually met Destiny or ever talked to him. Is he like a
I
cool
met him.
guy? I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's not- I-
Same.
We
as
had
he
him on
is
the show.
online.
I thought he was...
Well, I don't watch
fine.
his stream either, so I don't really know. So
You want to
I
know
mean,
why
like,
people like him? I'll say it right now.
Okay.
The reason
no
people
fluff,
like him
there's no
is because
bullshit.
love him or hate him, he's honest about
Yeah,
everything.
he has no
There's
fluff.
never a time where Destiny says something, and you're like, no, he doesn't really feel that way. No.
So is he like Greg or?
Absolutely feels that way. No, because the name that you
Greg's
just said
pretty
I can't say right
honest.
now, it would be really awkward if I said that name right now because it's like rape on. His opinion, the person you just named, comes out in like 4 words all the time, and that's cool, edgy. Destiny's is like paragraphs, and then it's backed up by a obnoxious black dude who is hilarious as shit. And then it's like a comedy thing with some truth to it, but it's got the Reddit edginess to it, so everyone's really, you know.
Okay.
But he's honest. That's the thing, though, and I'm not being facetious. If anyone's like, "In control's being facetious," no, I'm not. Destiny is absolutely honest, and it's admirable because
that's cool.
he wears his emotions and how he feels on his sleeve, and people love him for it. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. All
I
right,
can appreciate that.
Tyler.
So about this tournament,
yeah.
my one big complaint, which I voiced like multiple times last year, was that for some bizarre reason, Blizzard makes this horrible mistake of just not saying how do you play in BlizzCon. Like, you just don't know. Even if you like look at one region, how one
Yeah.
region's doing it, doesn't mean that's how your region's going to do it. Like, they just have a different formula for each region.
Didn't we
They
talk
don't
about
tell
that
people
once?
in advance. Yeah,
I think we
talked
said like
about
we have
it
no idea
last
how the
year.
BlizzCon stuff is going to happen this year. We hope it's like from a ladder
Yeah.
and they like have a close date. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to qualify for it, if I want to qualify for it, but I'd like them to tell me how I can try to qualify for
The
it.
Blizzard thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BlizzCon.
yeah.
And it's like, how can they just not announce that? Like, I just don't
Yes.
understand. Why don't they want people competing for a spot at BlizzCon? Because that's all you can do is just, like, stay on top of the ladder and win every tournament. That's, like, the only way you can guarantee your spot at BlizzCon.
And I will actually remove all my joking, unserious answers from earlier, and I would like to just go ahead and reaffirm what Tyler just said, because that's one of my biggest dreams in all of StarCraft is to play at BlizzCon. That'd be like the coolest thing in the world, and to not even have the chance kind of sucks. And obviously, a lot of people are like, "Well, then win more stuff." And I understand, I hear you. I'm trying, but at the same time, I'd love it if they were like, "We're holding online qualifiers," or something.
Yeah,
some obtainable goal.
The basic way to run a competition is to, like, decide on a format and then tell the competitors so that they can compete in it. Like,
That's
I don't
blasphemy,
understand.
Tyler.
It's like a rape competition. Like, surprise, you're in our competition. You could have told me, man.
Damn it, Tyler, you're so awesome.
God damn it.
But yeah, so I'm kind of sad that I'm not gonna say I'm sad that I wasn't invited, because I can see a lot of these people that deserve to be invited more than I did. But I'm gonna say that I'm sad to like just not have any advance notice, like, because here I was thinking, okay, these next couple of months, like, I'm gonna have to play a lot of ladder, because 2 weeks before BlizzCon's gonna send an email to the top 2 guys in the ladder say, "Hey, you're coming to Anaheim."
Surprise!
Yeah. That's how
It's
they,
actually
like, do
hilarious
it for
because
StarCraft
everything
1.
you just
Very late notice.
everything you just said is just going to be disregarded. It's just going to be like the rape tournament. That's all it's going to be remembered.
I do want to.
I'm just letting you know when you go to the forums
Yeah.
later.
So I'm just sad. I'm like, go to the forums one day and it's like, oh, I'm not going to BlizzCon this year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going, just I'm not competing. Maybe I'll have more fun that way.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I'll badger the players for autographs.
That'll show him, Tyler.
I heard that. I heard if you're a real fan, then you go to an event and you get autographed.
Terrible.
I can't tell if you're making everyone like go assemble you or not.
Yeah, I can't either. Let's move on to the second to last thing. Little game called Dota 2 announced $1 million tournament, and
What?
yeah,
You didn't hear about this, Dan?
I heard there was like $1 million tournament announced, and I
$1 million
like visited
tournament.
the front page of Team Liquid. I didn't see it, so I'm like, it's nothing.
first place is $1 million prize. I think it's only first place from what I read.
Which company is this? Is
Valve.
this Han? Is this LOL? It's Valve. Okay.
Valve is the one that owns Dota. So
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
yeah,
And
I
this
mean,
is a standalone. This isn't off of Warcraft 3 or StarCraft 2, right?
correct.
Okay.
This is a standalone Dota 2 game that will be revealed at Gamescom, where is it 8 invited teams?
Wait a second. The new Dota is going to get released at the same, and then they'll play the tournament for $1 million?
Yes. No, it's not being released. It's a preview, I think, or a build or something.
Yeah.
It's 1.7 million for total. First place is 1 million. So
But they're not
1.7
doing the
million.
competition with the new game, right?
No, they are. The entire tournament.
This is like an esports lottery for MOBA
yeah,
players.
it does. It's exactly.
This is an esports lottery for MOBA players, is what has just happened.
Dan,
So
do I need to tell you about my history of impromptu WCG gaming and winning money? Do I need to tell you that? Of everyone sitting in this little windowed state of the game event, Greg and I got knocked out of a WCG. I believe it was the time that Tyler won. And we said, well, what the shit do we do now? They're playing this free, like, internet-based pseudo-RPG combat game over there. Let's go enter it.
wait, what was
We
that?
took third place at the national championship. Greg,
What game was that? What was the name?
I can't even tell you the name.
Redstone.
Redstone.
What?
Of course, man. That
Redstone.
was epic.
Yeah,
Jeff
Greg and I
won
sat
more
there.
money than like the 4th place StarCraft guy. It was like actually
It's the
so
most
funny.
Greg has laughed in his entire life. Like if you were to do
Yeah.
if you were to do like that end of the StarCraft game chart where it shows like your economy and shit, Greg's would be like. But then there's Redstone.
So yeah,
It's back down.
official quote from Gabe Newell, one of the people over at Valve, like I think he's CEO or something, says, "The International, which is the name of the tournament, is the first public Dota 2 event and will give tens of millions of gamers playing Dota around the world their first look at the new
Oh.
game."
Josh Suth just hit me up. It's actually just a prettier version of the game of
Right.
Dota that's already out. So
Yeah. I mean, it's
Okay, well you have to
StarCraft
understand.
1 with
When
better
my brain
graphics.
heard that, it was like a new game, like 15 new characters, and they're like
Oh, okay.
randomly
Wait, so-
selecting these dudes in the middle of $1 million tournament. So
Wait, that's not
What is-
the tournament for $1 million though. That's just a tournament to introduce the game.
No, that's
No,
the
it's the
tournament.
tournament.
No,
For
that's-
1.7 million prize pool.
It's
for
With
just a-
everyone.
8 teams pre-invited.
Yeah.
and they were sent the build a month or two ago, I guess. So they're playing on this new skinned.
Wait a minute. Who thought of this idea? If you're going to have $1 million tournament, you release the game and you set it up some months in advance so people buy the game.
It's
so they
16 teams.
make
All right,
money.
the chat's crucifying us. 16
Like,
teams.
This doesn't make any sense. to me. I
that
don't
changes.
get
that
this.
changes Dan's argument.
Oh, I'm like,
Now that- now
makes
that
perfect
Dan-
I'm
it's
just
16.
clarifying.
It's
Also,
16,
the
so-
16 teams that
well.
were invited played in the alpha and beta of this game. So they're actually gonna.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
I'm just putting all the info out there so
$1
that we have it
yeah.
all and address it all. And I'm just looking at Artos's face. And
It's just, I don't get it, man. I actually don't understand the business behind that. Maybe that's why I don't have $1 million to give away.
is this just a PR move, basically?
It's a
But if you were
marketing
going to do it, wouldn't
strategy,
you
yeah.
have, like, make it long and have it have qualifiers and have the game out so people are buying it thinking... Because, hell, man, as soon as you said that, I just messaged Tyler and said, let's make a Dota team. But now
Yeah.
I'm not going to...
You're not invited.
Dude, I can't play in that tournament, so...
Yeah.
I don't want to make a Dota team with you anymore, Tyler.
Yeah.
I
For
think
3
it's-
minutes, we wanted to make a Dota team.
Yeah.
But not
It's
anymore.
a little bit silly in the sense that it's dramatic overkill. Like, if you look at the series of... Let me for a brief history of Dota for you guys. And I'm pulling this entirely out of my ass, so everyone that wants to get mad, go ahead and start it now. In the year past, they've had tournaments ranging from $100 to $10,000. Then there's $1 million, 1.7.
That's the next evolution,
Where
man.
the fuck did that come from? Where the fuck did that come from?
I mean, that's...
Uh,
Is this what happens when a developer supports a game?
Don't. What is that?
Hey, man, I gotta play devil's
I'll tell you
advocate.
what. I played in a tournament called, and Dan and Tyler, actually Dan has a really good story about this, the Blizzard Sandlot Invitational.
Oh, my
It,
God.
it looks like when a
Oh, that is the epitome
best
of
tournament ever.
terrible planning by Blizzard. Last year's BlizzCon was done better when they're just like, oh, it was the top 2 of the ladder. I'm sorry, Tyler, it was the top 2 of the ladder. No,
Let me
this
give a
was
little
worse than that.
backstory. A little bit backstory for why you're hearing differing opinions. I was MVP of my team. I knocked out a couple of Koreans, big time Brood War pro gamers at the time. Dan,
Yeah?
what was your?
Oh, on my team, on my Sandlot team?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was more accomplished than out of the 50 players, I think 40 of them I had, like, if you wrote our accomplishments, mine were, like, way more, and I wasn't invited, Jeff.
I wasn't
You know,
invited either.
I outperformed, like, almost everyone in that tournament, and they were like, well, we're not going to invite that guy. We're going to invite these guys that, like, aren't good enough to observe his games, though. That is, like, a sour point in my life, Jeff. I can't believe we're
I
talking
know.
about this.
I'm
right
sorry. It was for those of us that were playing it. It was actually really awesome.
now. Was it?
They broke up the players by point value. So community leaders from different websites, Team Liquid, Gosu Gamers, Team Legacy, or something like that.
When was this? Early 2000s?
It was so 7 or 8 years ago, man. Or no, not that long. 6 maybe.
Huh.
But it was awesome. It was freaking awesome, and everyone had point value, and each team could only get a certain amount of points. And then it was winner style. Everyone got involved. It was Blizzard channeling the community, interjecting fresh new ideas, and supplying money that was unprecedented for the community. Like, people were getting MVP awards for $500. Teams were winning thousands of dollars. When in the past we were getting like $50, checks for our major tournament win. So it was really cool, and I want to know what happened to that kind of stuff.
We'll never know, Jeff. We'll never know. Artosis,
Guess
it's been a
we
rough
need to
night
know.
for you.
It's been a
Followed by
rough
StarCraft
night.
2.
It's been a
Or
really
rough
night.
morning.
So, time for user questions. If you have a question, throw it at twitter.com/@mejp. We'll probably do a couple of these because it is quite late, and tomorrow's the start of my 4-day vacation. So,
Oh, you got it
very
rough.
tired. I know. So yes, shoot questions, and we'll get those answered as they come in. In the meantime, Tyler, did you want to talk about the Dota thing at all? Throw your 2 cents out there. Voice of reason.
No.
And I'll make you
There's
madder.
no reason to be mad.
I'll make you guys both matter. I
Oh,
worked at
sure.
GameStop. There was a promotion for a baseball game that came out. Okay, it was like Major League Baseball 2010 or something like that, maybe 11, I don't know. And the promotion for releasing that game was the first player to pitch a perfect game would instantly win $1 million as long as they fulfilled like a page or a book this thick of prerequisites for their filming of this perfect game. $1 million.
Wow.
Can you imagine
Wow.
if they released StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm and they said the first guy to not die to infestors will win
No,
$1 million?
it would be the first guy to get all the achievements for the game. Let's be honest, Jeff.
It would be that.
Yeah.
And it would you're actually right. It would be that one, and it would be some completely random dude. from the Silicon Valley. Yeah, I don't know. Put my head down to it and worked hard.
Oh, and RTS did that before, actually, once. It was Rise of Legends, like 100 years ago. When that was coming out, they announced like a 50K tournament. And then they announced that it was going to be like best of one single limb or something like that. I forget exactly what it was, but it was some terrible rules, and I uninstalled the game immediately. I'm like, well, I'm not spending 2 months on this for that.
You're actually inadvertently describing the later years of Fatality's career in Chomper. They traveled from new FPS and new race car game and just won the first tournament, which was always the big promotion for $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not to take away from Fatality, he was amazing at Quake, but he won a bunch of silly ones too.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Chomper was awesome. I watched him every WCG. I
Yeah,
had to
he
go
was good,
watch
man.
him race cars because the kid was
I think I
It was
really
good.
little
that
car
Was that for
racer I'd
track-
ever seen.
Oh no, I thought you guys were talking about Trackmania.
I
was
met the
phrasing
guy a
question.
couple times. We had to do interviews alongside each other, and
You guys ever seen the competitive Trackmania stuff?
Yeah, man.
That stuff's fun as shit
Of
to
course.
watch. You guys should watch that sometime if
he
you
had
haven't.
any.
Yeah, JP, let me do that when there's all these StarCraft 2 VODs out. I have to catch up. on
Yeah.
this.
I'm talking by you. I meant to everyone else watching because you guys aren't going to watch it. Hey, Artosis ZH58 wants to know who you main in Street Fighter.
Oh, I was maining Ryu for a long time. Right now I'm using... there's no super cabinets in Korea, so at arcades I use Blanca. And right now, when I'm playing at like houses, I'm using a lot of Cammy right this second. I like Cammy. She's fun. But I guess that means Blanca is actually my main because I play the most arcades.
Jeff, are you still playing Mortal Kombat at all?
No, but Sir Scoots announced that he was the Cassidy Scoots champion of Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oh.
So I played
That's
that game
phenomenal.
for the first time and smashed the shit out of him. It turns out the dog that has a super that hits everything
Yeah,
on the screen like
Amaterasu or
4
whatever.
times, really good. But then also Sentinel that has a super that hits everything on the screen. That
Oh yeah,
one's
Sentinel's
good too.
broken, man.
And then just because I like Resident Evil, I went with what's his butt?
Chris
Nope.
Wesker.
Wesker, and it turns out that his special that hits everything on the screen is really good as well.
He chose
So,
like the cheesiest team in MVC3.
yeah.
Man.
Well, my favorite part too is that like Jake LZ Gamers actually played the game, and he leans over. He's like, "Okay, so here's how you hit the hard kick. Here's the light kick. Here's the light punch. Here's the hard punch." And I was like, "Okay, how do you do super?" He's like, "You just kind of mash all the buttons at one time. You just hit everything." And that's the game. So I mashed a lot of buttons and did really, really well. And poor Sir Scoots, he then plays Machine, who played for the first time. Machine smashes him. He then played Jake, who actually plays it at home casually. Jake smashes him. And then Sir Scoots like walked out of the room and was like,
Poor Scoots.
I don't like you guys anymore.
Poor Scott.
He was really upset. He was salty.
A lot of the chat is talking about the QXE all kill. Did anyone here watch that? Where I am just
I
sent in
watched.
like the worst players on their team, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we're about to lose," and sent an MVP, and then QXE smashed him at the end.
Tell me about the
Yeah.
bandana thing, because everyone like their whole team showed up wearing bandanas.
the Faux
People were
team?
talking about did he throw his bandana in the crowd or something, or what happened?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
he did.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's all I saw. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I
that's-
mainly just watched
that's
the
pretty much what
games.
happened.
I watched
Like-
the games and then I'd watch his ceremony and then I'd go to the next game. And I didn't read anything.
He had a nice little interview after he killed everyone. He was
I didn't
just
watch
about
that.
crying. He was so happy.
I mean, that's
He played,
definitely
he
It's
played
awesome.
well, man. He
Yeah.
played really
Well, we
well.
had
Yeah.
foreigners going from "Oh my God, you're that one foreigner that won that one game" to "He killed an entire team."
Yeah.
And everyone wants to make the excuse that it was all B teamers, which it mostly was. But he then beat
Yeah,
was
he
it
beat
MVP?
yeah,
MVP.
for the
MVP,
for the
man.
final game. I mean,
In
that's
a
awesome.
stage match. That's huge.
Yeah.
You can't take that from him.
And MVP was like in shock. Like
Yeah, he was.
stayed
Oh, I
in
didn't
the
see his-
game forever. He had lost forever and he just wouldn't leave. He
Oh.
just
Yeah.
accept it.
We have pro gamers like Asem and Rekroll and stuff that their entire careers, or a large part of their careers, were made on winning one match on stage. Like, we need to give that same notoriety, I feel, to a lot of the foreigners that are going to Korea and doing the same exact thing. QXC all killing that team should be pretty awesome. I would never compare it to Legionnaire all killing in Korea when he did
Yeah.
it, but it's pretty damn good. It's pretty awesome.
Some more questions here. Where was that one? Oh, Miles Krabil, I guess. Dan said, sounded pretty disheartened about esports in Korea. More foreign fans than Korean fans, etc. He wants me to follow up with that. Is there, I mean, is Star 2 struggling in Korea right now, Dan?
I don't know the exact numbers. I know it's been growing in popularity, but you got to understand StarCraft 1's still around, and it's it's on TV. It's got a nice schedule. It's doing well still, or at least it was last time that it was talked about. Well, no, I mean I think it's going to do fine. I think that there's going to be a switch over to StarCraft 2 from StarCraft 1 within the next couple years. I can't see StarCraft 1 staying around. It feels like it's kind of starting to fall apart. So then we'll probably see the big influx. But as far as a lot of foreigners coming to the studio is not in the best place for people to actually go and watch. It's kind of out of the way. It's way on the west of Seoul, like in an area that you don't really want to be in. It's not like a fun or cool area. But a lot of foreigners visit Korea, and a lot of foreigners live in Korea and just love the GSL, so they come down a lot. So we have huge amounts of foreigners down there a lot of the time. It just matters who's playing and stuff. Some days you get a ton of Koreans in there as well.
A bunch of people are asking, no one specifically, just a ton of people, Jeff, are asking when is a video tour of the house going to be coming up?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're really, really proud of the house, and right now we're all still setting up. We moved in yesterday, like mid-yesterday. We just picked up Bryce's stuff from Queen Creek and moved that up here. So the idea is that this house is going to be spick and span in ship-shape order, and everything is going to be where we want it. And then you're going to get a full-on like cribs walkthrough. This is the place. And obviously, you wouldn't be talking to me if you didn't get a little bit of hype. But this place is freaking amazing. I'm really, really happy to be here. So it's pretty cool. And we'll talk more about it later. But the end thing I wanted to say too is that this is an awesome place, but we're here to make better results.
One Rod Breslau wants to know, MLG Orlando and IEM New York City are on the same date. Which one are you guys going to go to?
MLG's got to get their shit together.
I think IEM announced afterwards.
Oh, wait. IM and MLG
Pax
Orlando are at the
Prime.
same time?
Yeah.
PAX Prime and Raleigh, man. I'll never forget. I'm going to like...
So, Tyler, which one?
I'm going MLG. of course.
Jeff? Well, I guess you are kind of tied to the Stride thing. So, Jeff, you're the only one here without any ties to any actual organization.
I mean, MLG is my heart and soul, and as long as I can keep my pro player status, hopefully I'll have a better Raleigh. You don't want to lose that. You absolutely don't want to lose that. That means so much going into the national championship. So I would have to go to MLG. But for other players, it's going to be a harder decision. IEM's a really big deal. Intel is the main sponsor of that event. Intel is EG's main sponsor. So I could be saying this and then later getting an email from Scott calling me an idiot. So I don't know.
So Artosis, a bunch of people are asking about Skew leaving Six Jacks.
Oh, shit.
Is there anything that you can comment on that's not already out there?
I'm not really sure what's actually out there. I try to stay out of those threads. I mean, he's a great player and a great friend, but...
He doesn't like StarCraft 2.
Yeah, man, he's one of these guys that just isn't motivated enough, so... that's it, man. I'm trying to make a great team here, and you got to be motivated to be on Six Jacks, that's for sure.
So as, the guy who recruits players of the team, why did you recruit this guy who...
I wanted to give Skew a try because he is really talented, as both you guys really know. You've played him a lot, so wanted to give him a try, give him a shot at, traveling around and actually falling in love with the game and getting active like he was in Brood War for a few years, and he didn't do it, so, that's it.
Well said, Artosis.
Thanks.
You handle this well.
Has everyone here heard about the Boxer versus Yellow stuff?
Oh, I'm really excited for Yellow
What's
to get
that?
absolutely trounced by like 6 Marines.
Boxer versus Yellow?
Yeah.
Was that your answer, Art?
Yeah, I heard about it, man. I'm casting it.
It's going to be 3 bunker rushes again.
It'll be fun. There's going to be some more matches on that day too. I don't know if they announced that.
I don't think they have. So.
Oh, it's going to be a good set of games.
Is Yellow actively playing the game, or?
I mean, he must be. If he just shows up and he like sucks, that would be terrible. And I don't think we'd make a match like that. But I haven't seen any of his games yet. I imagine that he's at least pretty damn good. Otherwise, why would he do this? That would be like a stupid move.
Someone has a... I don't know what this question means, but...
Because he's getting paid?
Zach Holmes is asking Artosis to talk about the towel Terran at GSL qualifiers.
The towel Terran, man. I just put this video on my YouTube, youtube.com/ArtosisTV. It's the towel Terran. It's... I guess someone told me it was FXO Gumiho, the guy who used to be random now as a Terran.
Oh, he chose?
And he plays with a towel over his mouse pad.
What?
And he plays through a towel. You gotta go. I took a video of it because it was amazing. Go look.
What?
Go look, JP.
How does that benefit him? What?
I think it's because he has sweaty hands. Because some
that's
people
kinda
get
gross,
really
then.
sweaty hands.
So he's like afraid to show the...
No. It's if
He loses grip.
if your hands sweat too much and you have a certain mouse, like some mice
if it's like
are better
slick.
than that. Yeah, it'll get
Alright.
slick, it'll slip. So I think that's why. But it's the first time I've ever seen that. So I was like, I have to tape this and put this online. And yeah, so it's there if you want to see it. It's pretty good too. Pretty good for playing through. I can't imagine like you move your mouse forward and like the towel catches and you go up on the towel and you miss micro and lose. That would be terrible.
Alright, questions are done. It's time for shoutouts. Artosis, go ahead and start since you were the last one to talk.
Okay. Thank you to Six Jacks for my team and sponsor. Watch the GSL, gomtv.net. Follow me on Twitter, /Artosis, on Facebook, /Artosis. And I just got Google Plus. I don't know how to link you to that.
Was that
I don't
good?
think it has an easy way. Huh?
Should I like have that, but I haven't like
Oh, you guys all need
anything
to
up.
get. You guys all need to get Google Plus. It's actually
What,
much
how
better.
does it benefit me? Like what is it?
It's like Facebook and Twitter all in one. It's awesome. It's
But I have Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
well, it's better than Facebook, man. It's like way better. Facebook is
I
confusing.
don't really like
and
Facebook.
I'm scared of Facebook.
Is it better because it's new?
No, it's go on and actually play with it. I played with it for like 2 hours to try to figure it out. It's actually better. You'll be like, oh my god, this is so loading. It's so
You
easy.
spent 2 hours on it? I can already tell it's not as good as Facebook because guess how much time I spent on that?
Well, it wasn't 2 hours. It was
Yeah.
probably 30 minutes. I spent figuring it out.
Hang on. I'm gonna go. Here's my face when I figure out Facebook. Hang on. Ready? And my Facebook's in Pirate Speak. Is your Google Plus in Pirate Speak?
Yes.
No, it's not. You're lying now.
Yes, it is. You don't know.
I do know.
Anyways, go
You
add
couldn't
me on
speak
Google
pirate.
Plus. Oh, my YouTube, I'm adding a lot of videos. I'll put up the Happy Zerg videos. He actually did really well in the qualifiers yesterday. Barely was eliminated by a StarTale player in the second round. All pretty good games. I taped them all.
What?
I'll put those up. What?
That's doing really good.
No, he played well, man. When you see the games, you're like, oh, okay, he played some pretty hard guys. I know you got to the finals, Jeff, and lost by one game.
No.
in
I'm
GSL.
wishing.
You're
Actually,
good too.
my line of
Okay.
thinking when you were saying that was, I wish the community were populated with Artosis because that's such a great way to put it. Like,
Yeah, he did really well.
he lost
man.
the second
really
round, but he
And
played well.
he's so friendly because he's from Ukraine, and Ukrainians are just the nicest people on earth. They just are. It's just the way it is. And
You talked to Straylock?
yeah, dude, Strelok's so nice to me. The guy like buys me beers every time.
I
he
shouldn't
sees
do
me.
inside jokes like that. People think I'm calling him out or something. Like, I'm not. He yells at you when he
Jeff,
talks.
why do you
It's a joke.
hate him and
I
Tyler?
know. Here we go.
Jesus,
Oh,
man.
Son of a bitch.
God.
No, Straylock is a friend of mine, but when he speaks English, he compensates by yelling louder and louder.
No, I know he does. It's really cute.
It's kind of funny.
So yeah, so check
State
out
tournament?
artosis.tv for those, and thehandsomenerd.com. We have 6 shirts like Pirate Bird. There you go.
I signed a Pirate Bird poster over the weekend. At,
It was
MLG.
amazing,
You
too.
saw that,
Really well
Jeff? That
done.
was
Yes.
that was fucking awesome. Yeah.
Would that guy please tweet at Stay the Game because I want that picture online. It
Yeah.
was so hilariously drawn.
That was
It
awesome. Jeff, shoutouts?
Well, yeah. First and foremost, thank you to Stay the Game for having me back. Appreciate that. The hiatus was painful. I just went through all of MLG, Anaheim, where everyone like to a T said, "Hey, we really missed you on State of the Game and really enjoyed what you did there and stuff." And it was awesome. Like, really, really, really love having a platform to speak out to people and appreciate it. So I'm glad that that's something I got through, and we're all here and we're moving forward in a better future. Also want to thank everybody at MLG Anaheim, even separate from that. I had my worst tournament to date. I'm sick with my performance, did not like it, not satisfied with it. People heard me to talk about it earlier, and you can call it excuse if you want, that's fine. I'll even take a step further, though, and say there's no excuses that are acceptable. It's just not okay to do that, regardless of what happens. So I'm very committed to working much harder, and I'm in the best place to do that. The Pro Gaming House is going to go really, really well in terms of improving skill. So I will work hard at that, both for my fans, myself, and everybody else. So thank you to the people that stick with me and continue to support me. And to the haters, I hope to disappoint you guys. That's what I want to do. So thank you, and awesome. Also, big props to my team. Thank you, EG. Traveling us around, taking us to this house, all this stuff. This would not be possible without sponsors. It just goes without saying, but I really hope people understand that. Like, I'm a pro gamer. I'm really happy to be doing what I'm doing. It's my passion. It's my love. But I could not do this without the people that support us. So please, in any way, shape, or form, send them love. Intel, Kingston, Steel Series, Monster Energy, everybody. They're doing so much to support me. And that's it, man. Just love all you guys, and really happy to be here, man. Really happy. Jacked up about it.
Tyler?
Well, first of all, my team, good old Team Liquid. Check out our site at teamliquidpro.com. And our sponsors, Little App Factory and Razer, and my little sponsor called Stride Gum. Amazing sponsor. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Of course, follow me on Twitter. You guys can see that. Follow me on Justin TV to get an email if you'd like whenever my stream goes live. Justin TV /Liquid Tyler. And for my bonus shout out, I would like to give my special endorsement to Sundance and all the good folks at MLG. I think you guys are doing an awesome job, and MLG is where it's at. Like, they've had some bumps in the road, but like these past two events, man, just been amazing. And I really hope anyone who has the spending money to spend a little money on esports and support this passion of all of ours, to go ahead and buy a membership from MLG, because I really, really, really think they deserve it based on what they've done these past two events. And I think it's in good hands if you're going to invest in someone to continue to improve a league. I think MLG is definitely one of the leagues that will do good by your money and give you an even better product and sustain themselves and all that. So that's my little bonus, the Tyler bump that I'll give. So
Putting on my MLG hat. If you're on the East Coast, we'll be in Raleigh, North Carolina in 3 weeks or something silly.
4 weeks.
Something like that. Some silly.
A little over 4 weeks, yeah.
I don't understand why it's so close. But yep, we'll be there.
No. I don't know.
It's at the end of August.
3
I think
weeks.
it's like 27th
Yep.
through the 31st. But go over to MajorLeagueGaming.com to check that out. That's it for the show. We might have a show next week. I'm not too sure. I have to travel to California for the Blizzard Regionals, which will start on Wednesday and run through Saturday, I believe. Casting that with Dana. You can go find more information over on the Battle.net site. But once I know more, if I'm going to be able to do it or not from Sean's room or something, then I'll go ahead and post on Twitter. But that's it for the show. I don't know why I said Twitter like that. My voice is terrible tonight.
You should do
I
it.
apologize for that. See you guys later.
JP, real quick.
What's up?
I'm going to publicly put it out there. We should do a State of the Game live from an MLG, man.
I'm going to publicly put it out there, and I hope Sundance is listening. You should have answered that email, Sonny. See you guys later. We'll see you whenever we do another show. I'm out. Peace.